The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Join us at a very special show this evening. It's the trial of Alan Peter Caddick. Good evening, my name is Iain Lee. I am the prosecution. Joined now by the defence. It's Sally. Good evening, Sally.
Good evening, Iain.
Great to see you at a special late night court session.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be joined by your client very soon.
Hopefully.
Just waiting for things to get underway. And how are you feeling about the case?
Oh, very confident. Very confident.
You're going to be destroyed because I've been practicing law. So.
Right. You fitted it in a week then.
Sorry, what did you say?
Did you fit it in a few days then?
No. I've been watching lots of crime documentaries on Netflix. So. But,
okay.
Admittedly, a lot of my law is based on American crimes, but. I think I've pretty much got the idea. By the way, if anyone wants to call in and be a witness, 0344 499 1000. That's 0344 499 1000. Before 11 o'clock, we will be inviting 12 straight-to-air calls to get the jury to decide. Oh, I think there is some movement from the back of the court. Yes, it looks like Judge Boyle is on her way. So would the court please stand for Judge Boyle?
All rise. The court is now in session. Please be seated.
Thank you. Judge Boyle, would you like to take proceedings?
Thank you, counsel. The charges are as follows against Alan Peter Caddick. Is Alan Peter Caddick in court?
I am, Judge Boyle.
Could we have your name and date of birth, please? Could you confirm?
Alan Peter Caddick, 16th of February 1980.
Thank you very much, Mr. Caddick. You are charged as follows with one count of taking a call without consent. This happened before Talk Radio days, but it has been brought to my attention, and so we must take it in consideration. Also, 5 counts of calling without due care and attention. According to our records, you fell asleep while in charge of a telephone on several dates, which I'm sure the prosecution will remind us shortly.
Yes.
And finally, 1 count of taking advantage of a stand-in presenter to commit an act of gross telephonic indecency. This happened in December of this year. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
To all charges?
All charges.
Permission to speak, my lady, my lud.
Permission granted.
Your gavel, which apparently cost you £7, is. I think you've bought a dog toy. That's just a cheap bit of plastic that you're hitting a box with. My gavel. My gavel.
Quiet.
My gavel is. Here we go. My gavel is better, but if you're happy using your plastic gavel...
If you'd please stick to the particulars of this case
yes.
and not being particular about my gavel.
Permission to speak, Judge Boyle?
You may approach the bench.
Thank you. The charges that you've just read up are completely different to the charges that I was told on Tuesday.
Silence in court! Silence in court! Do not contest my authority.
Also, permission to speak. She used the word indifferent when she means different, so I think Alan is screwed.
I did not use the word. Did you say indifferent? I said they are completely different.
You said completely indifferent.
Could we save our arguments for the case in point, please? Counsel.
Excuse me, can I speak, Judge Boyle?
You may. Briefly.
The charges that I was told on Tuesday are the charges that I have prepared for this evening. These new charges I have not prepared for, so I am asking for a couple of days or a mistrial, please.
You may have a couple of minutes while we talk to the prosecution, and not a minute more.
Alan, just let you know, if at the end of this hour you start crying like a baby when you're sentenced to 10 years hard labour, banned from phoning this radio station, then please don't feel embarrassed. It happens to a lot of people.
I understand.
Okay, good. I'm glad you understand. I'm ready to go. Who goes first?
Well, we're getting complaints from the remote viewers that they can't hear anything.
Oh, let's put the headphones on. I do apologise.
I will not have this court being held up as some kind of jumped-up, chargy type place.
Don't want a jumped-up, chargy type place.
No.
Could I approach the bench? Could I petition, please?
You might as well stay here because you've been up and down like a bride's nightie, my dear. Approach.
Right. Judge Boyle.
Yes.
To start with, I would like to ask the judge to recuse herself on the basis she is friends and work colleagues of the prosecution, and that on the night of the 28th of June 2018, at around 10 p.m, the prosecution is seen to ask the judge to prepare evidence and exhibits that are to be used against my client. This negates the judge's impartiality.
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you, my dear. You'll have to sit down. OK, now let's get cracking.
Here we go. Who goes first? Who's on first?
Ip, dip, do, you.
OK. Alan Peter Caddick.
Yes, your lordship.
Yes, well, thank you. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
OK, good. Alan, you're charged with one count of taking a call without consent. It wasn't at this radio station. It was Absolute radio station, another station that I got shafted and sacked from. That's not what this is about. That you used to call. Do you remember calling me at Absolute Radio?
I'm afraid I don't have any recollection of the times and dates of those calls.
Sorry?
I don't have any recollection.
I'm not asking for specifics. It's a very simple yes or no question, Mr. Caddick. Do you remember calling me at Absolute Radio? Yes or no?
I might have done it in the past.
You might have done.
Could I have objection, please, Your Honour?
Let me hear it.
On Tuesday, I requested that the prosecution were to give me all evidence and exhibits for the case. I have not been provided, so therefore I have not been able to advise my client on the charges.
Don't worry, we'll play it now.
Details.
We'll play it now. You'll get to hear it now. Alan, so
hang on a minute. What? Objection ignored.
No, it's overruled.
Yeah, whatevs.
Well,
okay.
Who's running this? Is you running it, Judge Boyle, or is Iain running it?
It's me running it, isn't it?
Well, it'd be nice to hear you run it.
I'd like to hear a little bit less of you, madam. It's your turn, prosecutor.
OK, so you do remember phoning me at Absolute Radio, Alan?
I can't remember the exact number of times I called.
OK, but you did call me. Can I play something? And this is a clip of you phoning me at that aforementioned radio station without getting consent. Have a listen to this. That story's finished. Caddick, have you ever been stared at?
I am.
OK, I bet you have. Go on.
2 years ago, I gotta go. I'll talk quietly because my dad was moaning. I apologise for my dad.
OK, we apologise to Mr. Caddick as well. So we do apologise, Mr. Caddick.
Anyway, 2 years ago, I was.
Yeah, but now we can't hear you, Alan.
I can hear you. I can still hear you.
Well, you can hear us. Yeah, I know, which is great for you. But we can't hear you.
Yeah, I can talk quietly and still talk in a normal voice.
OK, good for you.
Right, 2 years ago, I was wearing nothing but pyjamas.
Right, were you in bed?
No, I wasn't.
OK.
I was doing some fundraising for charity.
OK, this could be tying in with a topic we never got round to doing, but go on.
Yeah, it was for the One-Eyed Bear charity.
Oh, okay, yes. There are a lot of those one-eyed bears around that need as much help as we can give them. Funny guy.
Yeah. What was that, Vinny?
Yeah, no, go carry on.
Can you both just carry on? Because you've both... The first hour was like proper Andre Rally, and now it's gone all slow. So come on, Caddick, come on.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was charging people to go into the car park while I was wearing my pyjamas.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't let people in unless they paid a charge.
Yes.
Excuse me, Vinny, I'm talking here.
He's talking quietly, so he doesn't wake his...
Did you just say wetting your pyjamas?
They were green.
They were green pyjamas. Right, Caddick, get to the point. I'm going to cut you both off in a minute, because you both get on my nerves.
Anyway, I've still got to answer for your first topic.
I don't care. You're not going to get that. You are not going to get that far. He's just gone. He's just gone. Right, Vinny, have you got anything else?
Yeah, I've got a middle name for you lot.
Quickly, because you...
There we go. So, by the way, great topic. Have you ever been stared at? We'll be doing that next week. Alan, you made a phone call there without permission, and you bailed out of the phone call before getting to any point of interest.
Let me explain what happened.
Please do.
Do not badger the witness. Don't badger the witness.
I'm asking him to explain.
Shh. Mr. Caddick, proceed.
My dad was still working at the time, and he had to get up early in the morning, and he didn't want to be disturbed in his sleep. That's why he told me to keep the noise down so he could get asleep. That's why I was talking quietly, and I was on my mobile, which was mine by right. I wasn't using a landline.
Did you or did you not call the show without permission?
But it was my mobile, so it was my right to call.
Did you or did you not bail out of the call before...
The client has answered the question,
I'm asking a different question, Your
Objection
Honour.
overruled.
Did you or did you not bail out of the call before any form of interesting information was imparted?
I was being considerate to my father because he had to go to sleep when he was for work in the morning.
So you bailed out of the call early, yes?
I did not bail out of the call, Your Honour.
Did that sound like an ending of a call to you?
No, you cut the phone off before I could make my phone.
I did not cut the phone off.
I put it to you.
No, you don't put anything to... You don't put anything to me, boy!
Mr. Caddick, let me remind you who's in the dock here, please.
OK, let's move on to the next.
Counsel, where is this going?
I have evidence of him calling without due care and attention, phoning in a radio show and falling asleep on the air. Alan?
I only did that the once, to the best of my knowledge.
The once, you say? And you only did that the once, Alan?
To the best of my knowledge.
OK. Well, let's...
Let me explain.
No. Let me stop you there.
Let's let him explain.
Yes, Your Honour. Thank you, Your Honour. Thank you, ma'am.
I was on my phone and I was on hold, and you got to me at 10:30, and I was asleep, and you had me on air for the whole show till 1 o'clock in the morning. Then when I woke up at call back phone, I realised I was still on the phone to you, and you left me, and I'm on the phone on all night.
But this only happened once.
Yes.
So that would be this...
And I listened back to the audio.
OK. The audio, yes.
And I heard me snoring all night.
OK, so that would be the one time... The one time would have been on the 3rd of June 2016. Here's a clip of that. Alan's on the line. Good evening, Alan. Hip, hip, hip. I hope that's his mouth. I haven't had this for a long time. So that was the one time, was it, Alan, on the 3rd of June 2016?
That is correct, Your Lordship.
OK. It's odd, because I've also got a recording from a year later, the 25th of July 2017. Have a listen to this. But here's the thing, Alan. He's fallen asleep. Again, he's actually fallen asleep. When I said when people fall asleep to the show, it's a compliment, I didn't mean when they're on the flipping phone. Those clips run on for a total of 10 minutes. So we've already proven, Alan, that you're a liar. The final...
Objection. question, Your Honour. He has not proven to be anything yet. The jury has not voted on whether or not he is guilty or not.
Objection sustained.
She knows all the legal
Your Honour.
terminology. OK. Well, my final clip is the charge of you...
First of all, are there only 2 occasions that you have records of?
Oh, no, thank you, Your Honour. There are... I have...
Excuse me. Objection, Your Honour. You are
She's been
leading
hanging out with Alan too.
prosecution.
Excuse me! I have got 3 more dates where you fell asleep on the phone. The 13th of March 2017, the 17th of March 2017, busy week, and the 26th of January, February, March, April 2018. That was just a few weeks ago. The final piece of evidence I'd like to play is the other charge of taking advantage of a stand-in presenter to commit an act of gross telephonic indecency. That was on the 2nd of December last year. Do you know what this refers to, Alan?
Who was coming for you that day?
Jamie East.
Is that the infamous When Harry Met Sally scene?
Let's have a listen.
Oh. Oh. God. Oh.
Are you okay?
Oh. Oh, God. Oh. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. 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 Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Right there. Oh. Oh. Yes. 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 Oh. Oh, yes. 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 Oh, yes. 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 Oh, God. Oh, yes. Oh.
There's all the evidence, Alan. You're still pleading not guilty to all of that, despite the recordings that we have managed to source. And there are plenty more recordings, Alan, that prove that you fall asleep on the job, and that you bail out of phone calls, and that you make indecent sexual noises to stand-in presenters. How do you explain that?
I was recreating the famous cafe scene from When Harry Met Sally. And Jamie asked me to be Sally doing the Meg Ryan part when I could have done the Billy Crystal bit.
I think that's all I have to say, Your Honour. May I suggest that we go to a break before inviting...
The prosecution rests?
The prosecution is going to sit down and have a rest now, yes.
Defender, gather yourself. We'll be with you in a second.
Thank you very much indeed. You are listening to the trial of the century. The case of Talk Radio versus Alan Peter Caddick.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Well, I'll let you address the court, Judge.
The court is back in session. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have just heard from the prosecution. He's outlined his case. Several charges against Alan Peter Caddick. Still in the dock, aren't you, Mr. Caddick?
Yes, Judge.
So the charges are as follows for anyone joining us. 1 count of taking a call without consent. 5 counts of calling without due care and attention. 1 count of taking advantage of a stand-in presenter to commit an act of gross telephonic indecency. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
The prosecution may approach the bench.
Good luck.
The prosecution, do you mean the defence?
The defence, whatever. Carry on.
Yeah, good luck, Sally. You're
Okay,
you're gonna need it, love.
Well, yeah, I will do now. You've changed it all. I'm having to wing it now, aren't I?
Yep.
So, Mr. Caddick.
Yes.
The day that you phoned in, apparently without any permission, okay, are you sure, what's your explanation for the call coming to an end?
Well, we put the call to the end because my dad told me to be quiet so he could get to sleep, and so he can get up early in the morning to go to work.
Right, so it was purely thinking about your father then?
Yeah.
Objection! She's leading the witness on.
Objection overruled.
No,
Continue.
Right. Okay. So it was just you were thinking about your father and him getting up to work in the evening, in the morning.
That is correct.
Right. Okay. As for the falling asleep, you say you've only fallen asleep once.
That is correct.
That's
Whatever. You must be tired.
Right. Have you ever fallen asleep on the show just the once?
On the daytime...
Objection! That question is bollocks.
Stop swearing in my court.
Sorry, my lad.
Right, okay. Right, so you've only ever fallen asleep on the show once, is that correct?
Yeah, like for 2.5 hours solid.
Right, okay. Are you aware of any hotkeys that Mr. Lee uses for his show?
I'm aware that he records audio and clips it onto his computer. Like, when I was at Absolute Radio, he made a clip of me doing the excuse me rant.
Yeah, so therefore, I presume he has the technology to edit and clip bits of audio.
Yes.
So, those other 4 times that you didn't... The other 4 times that you didn't phone... Excuse me, Your Honour, the prosecution is trying to put me off.
Get to the prosecution, please.
I'm not doing anything, that's Alan.
Get to the point, please, counsel.
Okay, so you claim you only fell asleep once, and the other 4 times were... that's not you. I'm putting to you that... Right, so I'm putting to you that there's a possibility that those clips of you snoring for the other 4 times were bits of audio taken from the first and only time that you fell asleep.
That is correct.
Right, okay. As for Jamie East call, who initiated, who decided on what clip should be used? Was it you or Jamie?
It was Jamie.
And who decided who was going to play which character?
The combination of Jamie and Judge Boyle.
So, for, I'm guessing, comedy purposes.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah.
But
I phoned that evening and was asked to play a man's part. So, yes. That is all, Your Honour.
That is it?
Is that it?
Well, yeah, I'm having to wing everything, aren't I?
Well, look, if you're happy with that,
they're
then...
all irrelevant now.
Okay, well, we'll press on to the character witness session of this trial if everyone's agreeable.
Yeah.
Alan, please, take a seat. We'll come back to you shortly.
Okay.
Well, I'm happy to let the defence go first. Who would you like to call up first, defence? That's you, Sally.
I will call up Sam, please.
What, Sam who works here?
Yeah, please.
Objection?
Overruled. I think we can have Sam, if Sam is agreeable.
Fine by me.
Wow. Controversial.
Okay. Sam.
Yes.
What is your job at Talk Radio?
Oh, I'm keen to hear this.
Technical operator.
Oh.
So you would know all about editing, audio, things like that?
Be very careful where you're going with this one.
Yes, you do. So is it possible that Mr. Lee took the 2.5-hour audio of Alan Caddick snoring and took parts of that and replayed it to the listeners, pretending that he has yet again fallen asleep 4 more times?
Defence, I must advise you at this juncture, before you pursue this continued chain
You're about to get pwned.
That there are several witnesses to the various times that Mr. Caddick has fallen asleep. There may even be more than 4 people listening to this show at any one time.
Right, well, they can be called then, can't they?
I'm sure there'll be someone on the phone if you are telling us fibberoos. That's all I'm saying. Continue.
Okay. Is it possible for Mr. Lee to edit those sounds to make it appear that Alan Caddick has phoned again?
It is, yes.
Right, that's it. Thank you.
I'd like to... May I approach Sam?
You may.
Thank you. Sam, it's good to know that what your job was. I just thought you'd won a competition. Sam, of course it's possible that I took one long clip of Alan snoring for 2.5 hours during a 3-hour show and just cut bits out of it. But you've worked on this show for a long time. You replaced that boring Australian guy. I don't remember his name. He's dead now. Have you heard, and answer it honestly, have you heard Alan Caddick falling asleep on the show more than once?
I have heard it.
Thank you very much. That's all the questions I have for the boy.
Thank you very much, Sam. You may get out of whatever that is you're standing in.
I don't
know why you brought that.
I would like to invite I'd like to invite Cleo up on stage to the witness box. Cleo.
Well, I was actually...
Shut up! Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you fictional fairy gods?
And no bollocks.
And the spaghetti monster from hell,
Okay.
yes.
Have you, you've been listening to the show for a long time. I've had the privilege of meeting Cleo, at one of the northern gigs. I think it was Manchester. It was a couple of gigs, Manchester and Newcastle. And I'm hoping you'll be coming to the Manchester show on July the 28th. Tickets are going very, very slowly. So we've got plenty left. You've been listening to the show for a long time. You've heard Alan Caddick phoning in before, haven't you?
Oh, many times.
Yeah. Have you ever laughed at an Alan Caddick call?
Yes.
Right. Let me rephrase that. Have you ever laughed at a genuine funny moment from an Alan Caddick call and not laughed at him?
Yes.
I'd like to hear what it was that you laughed at, please.
The one you played about 30 seconds ago of him having an orgasm.
Right. Okay, so him phoning up, making sexual noises of a woman in the hashtag #MeToo generation. You found that funny, did you?
In a hinge and bracket sort of scenario, yes.
In an Indian bracket type of scenario?
I'm of that generation where it was a...
You find Indians funny? Wow, we have a racist on the line. Okay. Apart from when Alan...
Objection, Your Honour. That is not proven that Cleo is a racist.
Oh, no, it is. I've got some emails. I'll forward them on to you.
Well,
Objection sustained.
Evidence, then.
All right,
Objection
Cleo.
sustained.
Apart from the time when he was mocking women's sexuality, which you found oh so funny, can you name me another time that you were laughing at Alan's performance and not at Alan?
I'd say towards Alan. I've laughed a number of times.
Can you give me an example?
Generally, nearly every call.
What are you laughing at?
His timing.
His timing.
His effervescent.
Right, so you're so timing and effervescence. You are laughing at him. Timing and effervescence are abstract concepts that we can't grab. So you're laughing at him. Those are traits. You're laughing at his traits. Him.
He's a funny man. He's a funny man.
But yet you fail to give me any example of comedy that he's indulged in that is not offensive to orgasming women.
Well, you know what?
Have you ever heard Alan Caddick asleep on the show?
I have, and this is why I rang.
More than once?
Number of times.
No more questions, Your Honour. Thank you. No more questions.
Would the defence like to approach the witness?
However...
Excuse me, Claire. I've finished. There's no more questions from me. Let's see what Sally's got to ask.
Nice.
Hello, Cleo.
Hello, Sally.
Okay. Right, Cleo, I understand that you have a certain health problem. Could you tell us about that?
I suffer from sleep apnea.
Right, could you explain to us what that is?
It's a condition whereupon you don't get a good night's sleep generally, and you tend, even though you think you've had a good night's sleep, you tend to fall asleep at inappropriate moments, or moments of boredom.
More moments of boredom. And what exactly happens? Why does that happen? Why do you fall asleep at... Is there something that happens when you're sleeping that causes that?
You think you've had a good sleep when you haven't.
Why haven't you had a good sleep?
You may be having breathing difficulties or whatever.
Right.
Objection, Your Honour. I don't care about Cleo's health.
Let's get to the point, please.
Okay. Now, Cleo, you stated to me that you had listened to Caddick's audio of him snoring.
Yes.
Is there anything that you could pick up on that?
I think he has sleep apnea. He may not be aware of it. And him being victimised in this way would contravene the DDA Act. So, but he's basically being condemned for having a disability.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
This is not pretentious to the case in hand. Fascinating as it is to hear the diagnostics from, I believe, a rank amateur, Cleo, unless I'm forgetting your medical training.
You did say rank?
I said rank.
Okay, right, yeah.
Thank you very much. I think that'll do. Unless there's anything else.
I still have one more. Have you been diagnosed with sleep apnea, Cleo?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
you know a lot about it, and you would know how to recognise the symptoms.
That doesn't necessarily follow, Sally, as you well know. Stop badgering and leading the witness.
Expert.
Expert. Okay, thank you.
One final question, Your Honour, if I may. Could you just remind me, Claire, just for my notes, where did you study medicine? Where did you get your doctorate from?
From me doctor.
The man's an idiot. No more questions.
Thank you very much, Cleo. You may disbench yourself.
Who would you like to call next, Sally?
Who's on the line?
We've got Barry, but boring Barry. We've got Robert. We've got CJ. We've got Gatford, and we've got Rory. and we got just to say, we got to get all of this done in the next 12 minutes.
Right. Okay. I would like to call Robert, please.
Thought so. Here we go.
Hello, Robert.
Hi, Sally. How are you, love?
I am fine. Let me find your questions, even though they're probably irrelevant now.
Well, I'm sure, apparently I tried to blackmail the judge and the prosecution, so, are you sure I'm allowed to speak to him, you know what I mean?
Well, that's
You're not ingratiating yourself with the court, Mr. Caddick.
That's a confession to make on the witness stand. Wow.
Excuse me, I've got evidence that I never tried to blackmail you, but...
That is not the matter in hand, Mr. Caddick. If you continue to talk out of turn, I will ask you to leave the court.
You're going to ask me to leave the court? Well, it's fabrication anyway, isn't it? But anyway,
right. Chuck him out. Chuck him out. Chuck him out.
Okay, I'm going to call Rory to the tough but fair, I'd have to say.
Well, let's just hope that this is an example to everyone else. I will not tolerate disorder.
I hope you're ready for the fury that will come shortly after the show. I'm going to call Rory to the witness. Rory, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, help me God, yeah.
Do you find Alan Caddick a boring caller?
Yes.
Yes?
No, it's consistent.
Consistently boring, would you say?
It's consistently, tenaciously on the line.
It's a very simple, it's a binary answer, please, Rory. Do you find Alan Caddick boring, yes or no?
No.
Have you heard him falling asleep on the show?
Several times.
Several times. Are you medically trained, Rory?
No.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honour. No further questions.
Sally, would you like to approach the witness?
Rory, do you think that Alan Caddick is funny?
Yes.
Thank you, that's all.
One final point, I'd just like to say, Alan Caddick is not on trial for being funny or not, and a few people seem to have focused on that.
He's on trial for being dull, isn't he?
Well, I can go through the...
Oh, no.
Wow,
sorry, I forgot
wow,
you
and that's his
changed the
defence
charge,
talking.
didn't
Hang on a second, we've got some... thank you, Rory. We've got some argy-bargy. Someone's just bursting into the courtroom. Security, we have an invasion. No, they've been thrown out. That was Robert Caddick trying to get back in. He's been thrown out. I call Pete. Good evening, Pete.
Hello.
I'm going to let Sally get her hands on you first.
Well, excellent. I mean, all I can say is I call bullshine.
I haven't asked a question, Pete.
I still want to call bullshine.
Yeah, well, you can't until I ask you a question. I'm sorry, but do you think that Alan Caddick is funny?
No.
Why?
Because he's just not funny. Every night it's Iain trying to spin gold out of the solidified urine that comes out of Alan Caddick's mouth.
Are you the Pete that I spoke to on Facebook the other day?
I certainly am.
So you are the Pete that said that you found Iain Lee's contempt for Alan Caddick entertaining.
That's correct.
So you find his calls entertaining then, don't you?
I find Ian's half of Alan's calls entertaining.
But entertaining nonetheless.
Alan himself is a very dull man.
I asked you if you found the calls between Alan and Iain entertaining.
Yes, but that's not relevant to the issue of Alan Caddick being a dull caller.
It is. You can't be dull and entertaining at the
Alan
same
Caddick
time.
is a dull corner. Ian Lee is a fascinating and humorous gentleman.
But you find the calls entertaining. So to get rid of Alan Caddick would make the show worth less.
Oh, Mo.
No.
Anyway, I do have a second point, as I mentioned on Facebook.
You might have many points, but I haven't asked your question.
Sleep apnea has been brought into this.
Excuse me, Your Honour. I will have order. This witness any questions. He can't just come on and say whatever he wants to say.
Please keep your responses to the particular of the case, Peter. You know this. I'm getting tired of repeating myself. Continue, please.
That's all.
Oh.
I've got some questions. Thank you, Sally. Pete, great to see you, mate. How are you doing? You all right? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
Sleep apnea. I believe you know a little bit about it. It's been brought up as a reason why Alan might have been so bold as to fall asleep and snore on this show at least 5 times.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it basically means that when you're asleep, you sometimes your throat closes up slightly and you stop breathing. Now, I mean, I've had it for easily the last sort of 10, 15 years.
I'm sorry to hear that, Peter.
That's all right, but what I can say with absolute certainty is that I've never fallen asleep on the phone while trying to call a radio show.
Gosh, and you've had it for how long, did you say?
About 15 years now.
Wow. Have you ever fallen asleep on the phone?
No, and whenever I've called the show in the past, I've always been on quite late, unlike Alan Caddick, who phones up at sort of 9:55 sharp every day. So he's on early.
So you're suggesting that not only is sleep apnea a misnomer here, but also Alan Caddick is a pussy?
I think that might be the case, yeah.
Counsel, if we could stick to courtly language.
I'm surprised the defence didn't call objection there.
I heard the defence snigger.
I have no further questions, Your Honour.
I have maybe one or two further questions.
Let's stick to one and then see how you get on.
What is your medical qualification, Pete?
My medical qualification is I have been diagnosed by people with better medical qualifications.
Right, but you haven't got any qualifications in medicine at all?
No, I have the letters from people who do have medical qualifications.
No.
Thank you, Peter. That will be all.
Thank you.
I suggest, Your Honour, we take a short break. Come back. Hang on a second. Someone's barging into the court. Security! Robert Caddick has barged into the court again. Security!
Hello?
Mr. Caddick, what do you want? Put down the gun.
Firstly, I'd like to apologise to both yourself and Joanna for kicking off, but can I give my evidence, please?
You may, if you compose yourself during this commercial break and put that weapon down.
Thank you very much indeed. We will not allow any guns in the court. Luckily, my nunchuckers are allowed.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
The court is back in session. You join us midway through the trial of one Alan Peter Caddick. He stands accused of several charges. I will repeat them for the hard of remembering.
Your Honour, may I just check that Alan is still awake?
I'm here.
Oh, he's still awake.
He's still
I thought he might have
conscious.
dozed off in the courtroom.
The charges against Caddick to reprise are 1 count of taking a call without consent, 5 counts of calling without due care and attention, and 1 count of taking advantage of a stand-in presenter to commit an act of gross telephonic indecency. How do you plead?
Oh, hang on a minute. How are you pleading?
Not guilty.
Okay.
Earlier we spoke to your brother very briefly. He's pledged to compose himself. And
May I just flag up the time restrictions? We have 7 minutes left of the case.
Let's go through this quickly then, guys.
All right, I advise you, Robert Caddick, to keep yourself to the particulars of this case and to answer all questions as quickly as possible.
Let me just explain where we're going. Be quiet, please. We have 7 minutes of this case, and then we'll be taking 12 calls straight to air. The jury. You are the jury at home. The first 12 calls straight to air, guilty or not guilty.
We'll decide the fate of Alan Caddick.
Away you go.
Sally, take it away. Yes.
Sorry. Okay, well, the questions that I have for you, again, there's no point to them. Do you recall phoning into the show once?
Once or twice, yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. The first time, can you tell me what happened?
Well, it was the very first time I ever rang up, and Ian was excited because not only did he have one Caddick, he had myself, the second Caddick, and
Yeah,
he
I
named,
believe
oh my
he
God.
said it was. I believe he described it as the most exciting thing ever.
I was just about to say that. He said he was excited because it was the most exciting thing. Not only have I got one Caddick, I've got two Caddicks on the phone, and not only the legend Alan Caddick, I've got his brother Robert, and then he introduced us both, and then we started talking.
So he referred to your brother as a radio legend, as a legend.
Yeah, he preferred him as a... oh, sorry, I can't talk now. Sorry, my teeth was for that. He referred him as a legend, yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't refer to somebody as a legend if they were dull, would you? Or boring, or not entertaining, or anything like that.
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't,
no.
would you?
No.
Okay. What does Alan do during the day? What does he do as a job?
He cares for both my mum and dad at the moment.
Objection, Your Honour. Irrelevant. Irrelevant to the case. What Alan does in the
How are you
daytime.
going to bring...
Who's relevant?
Okay, let's pursue this a little further, but I am warning you, Sally, this better be relevant.
It is relevant, Your Honour. He takes care of both your parents.
Yeah.
He does that on his own, does he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
How does he find that?
He finds it very... it's tiring because my mum... my mum can't walk properly, so he has to take her to the toilet and stuff like that. And also he has to make sure that she's in bed safely and she had the pills and stuff. Because like Ian knew, last year my mum almost died, and Ian was aware of that as well, so my brother's been caring for my mum as well.
So that must be very tiring for him. Do you find... I know he visited you in Blackpool not long ago. How... That was obviously a break for him, wasn't it? Because it's...
Sorry, go on.
Was that a break? Was that... Oh, come on, Your Honour. I mean, the prosecution...
Sorry. Turn the music off,
Sorry,
please.
my Walkman just went off in my bag. Sorry.
Put your pianist away.
Sorry, my Walkman just went off in car. I do apologise.
Okay.
So I'd switch that off.
But that was a break for him, wasn't it?
It was supposed to be a break for him, but he was still worried about my mum.
Yeah. Did he fall asleep
about sleeping and everything. Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to mention, but when Alan was here, he was sat in the test and he fell asleep talking to me, and that is a condition of sleep apnea.
Objection, Your Honour. Richard, Robert is obviously... Objection, Your Honour. Robert is obviously a very boring man. That's why he fell asleep.
Now. Objection sustained. Objection sustained. But what I will say is that while we are in no doubt as to how caring and good a son Alan Caddick is, that is not what we're talking about today. We are talking about whether or not he fell asleep. He says he didn't. You're saying he probably did. I just want to advise you that you're treading very, very dangerous ground now in your own case.
Who's treading dangerous ground? You changed the rules, so... Sorry to interrupt.
Are you disrespecting my court office again?
No, not at all.
I should think not.
And it came out my mouth.
I should think not, Mr. Caddick.
Yeah, be quiet. So...
Sorry, boss.
I'm going to fall asleep in a minute.
Oh, well, there you go. You're doing a radio show.
Yeah, it must be the RC factor.
Well, I tell you what, if we listen back to the tape, who was phoning in when Alan fell asleep? Maybe one of the callers was so boring it made him fall asleep.
I believe it was one Sally.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't
Come
phoning.
on, time is money.
There are other people waiting to give witness.
All, Robert. Thank you very much.
So, what, do you want to ask me any questions, Mr. Lee?
No, thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony, Mr. Caddick.
Sorry, Robert?
I said, what are you scared of asking me? You can ask me anything you want.
I know. Thanks very much for telling me how to do my job. I have no questions to ask you. No further questions, Your Honour.
Thank you very much, Mr. Caddick.
There we go. I'd like to call Wasim to the witness stand. Controversial! Wasim, do you swear to tell the whole truth, the truth, and you not tell any porcupines?
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Your Honour. I swear by the Lord God.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
That'll do.
Wasim, you're a relatively new listener to the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Judge Boyle. How long have you been listening to the show?
Ian and Your Honour, I've been listening since ever since you got back from the jungle, Ian.
Okay, thank you. So that's approximately 7 months. And it would be fair to say, wouldn't it, Wasim, that you and I have not always got on?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, but we've worked through our differences, and I certainly consider you a very, very valuable contributor to the show and part of the show family. And as that, I'm keen to hear, what do you think when at the start of pretty much every show, I say, let's go to Alan Caddick? Does your heart
First
sink?
of all, Ian, I think you're a very good man yourself, and we have had our differences, but, we've patched up, and I still pray for you.
Thank you, Wasim. I appreciate your prayers.
I pray for everybody.
If you could answer the question, does your heart sink when I call Alan Caddick at the start of the show?
I just think to myself, whenever Alan calls, he is very dull, to be honest with you. And
says
unlike
Wasim.
other calls, you know you love my calls, Ian. But anyway, whenever Alan calls, I do think to myself, this is going to be boring, even though he's from the same city as me. I think he does Birmingham a disservice.
Would you ever consider being so rude as to fall asleep whilst holding a telephone?
Not to one of your shows, apart from when your music's on.
And would you ever, Wasim, even if encouraged by an obviously nervous, inexperienced stand-in radio presenter, if that inexperienced, nervous stand-in radio presenter, filling in for an award-winning legend, were to ask you to make the sexual sounds of a woman, would you do it?
No, that's very disrespectful to women.
No further questions, Your Honour.
Especially with a woman, seeing you have a woman on your producer on your show, that would be very disrespectful. I would like to add something else as well, if you would allow me to.
No, objection, Your Honour. You can't just go and add things. You have to be asked.
Let's hear Wasim just this once, but make it worth it, Wasim, for heaven's sake.
Okay, just a quick point, really. I think if Alan was to adopt the approach of callers like Jack, who called about the milk, and, callers like Ken, who spoke about God, and people like Kadia, then maybe he'd go some way towards making his calls a bit more interesting.
You've just shown yourself up as an unreliable witness, my friend.
Could I ask a couple of questions?
You may. I wish you would.
Thank you. Wasim, did you know that the name Sally is also a male name?
No, I was not aware of that.
Well, it is. Have you ever heard Alan Caddick orgasm before?
No, to be honest with you, it wouldn't be something which would interest me very much. I don't really swing that way.
So when he was doing the Harry Met Sally, we don't know if he was imitating a woman, do we? He was playing a person called Sally. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Objection, Your Honour! She's been drinking!
I was on a break at the time. I was reaching for the sick bucket.
Okay, sorry. Right, Wasim, one final question. Have you ever phoned in the show and been put on hold for a period of time?
Yes, I have. I believe I have been, yes.
Right, so therefore Iain controls who comes on when and where in the show.
Iain is the host of the show.
So it's up to Iain, isn't it, whether or not he puts on Alan Caddick first?
Yes.
Right, no further questions, please.
Thank you very much indeed to both counsels for the defence and the prosecution. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I now put to you the fate of one Alan Peter Caddick. As we've heard in this court tonight, there have been various arguments as to his guilt or innocence. Now it is down to you to decide. Please clear your minds of any prejudices you may have had coming into this and focus your minds purely on the evidence presented in this court over the last 55 minutes. Now, if you would like to call us on 0344 499 1000, we will hear your verdicts. What we will take is a majority verdict in this case. I don't think it's going to be all one way. Therefore, 0344 499 1000, tweets and text will not do. Let's hear from you.
Okay, we will be taking calls. Calm down, please. We will be taking calls straight to air. You'll come straight to air. All I want is guilty or not guilty. It's the best of 12. Let's go to line 1. Do you find Alan guilty or not guilty?
The jury here says not guilty.
Oh, thank you very much. Line 2. Do you find the witness guilty or not guilty? Hello?
Alan Peter Caddick is a sleeper cell, and therefore he must go down, Your Honour.
So, just to clarify, you're saying guilty?
Guilty, Your
Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Barry in Weston-super-Mare. Barry, do you find Alan Caddick guilty or not guilty?
I find Alan not guilty.
Yeah, you would. OK, well, that's 2-1, not guilty. Line 4, do you find Alan Caddick guilty or not guilty?
Most definitely not guilty.
OK, thank you.
Write it down, Council, write it down.
It's 3-1, 0344 499 1000. Line 5, do you find Alan Caddick guilty or not guilty?
Guilty as sin.
OK, I wonder where that was going to go, OK. OK, 3-2. Very close. Line 6, is Alan Caddick guilty or not guilty?
He's not guilty.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. It is 4-2. This is very tense. Line 3, do you find Alan Caddick guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Sorry, did you say guilty?
Not guilty.
Oh, OK, right, OK. Well, that's 5-2. OK, he needs 2 more to win. Just think about, just line 4, before you say it, guilty or...
No.
Just think, really think, guilty or not guilty?
Don't try and sway the jury, please.
It's India, mate. India.
Oh, for God's sakes, man. Line 2, do you find Alan guilty or not guilty?
He is guilty.
Thank you very much indeed. That's there we go. Let's go to line... Just be careful with the phone there, please, Sally. I know it's exciting, but let's go to line 5. Line 5, do you find Alan guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
It's 6-3. One more.
We'll decide.
One more for not guilty, and Alan's got this. We'll be, of course, appealing. We might have to do this next week. Line 2. Do you find... Don't make me laugh. Do you find Alan guilty or not guilty?
Guilty on all charges.
Oh, it's just got tense.
Oh! Line 6. Do you find Alan guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Oh, no!
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Caddick. You've been found not guilty in this court of law. Talk Radio's first Crown Court has found you not guilty. How do you feel?
Thank you very much, Your Honour. Thank you for my faith in the British justice system.
And?
I'd like to thank my defence counsel for putting up a spirited defence. And thank you very much for a spirited fight, Ian.
Well, you know, the law is an ass, and we've all just been riding an ass. Big hairy ass. Well done, Sally. You put up an excellent fight.
You two got to shake on it.
And well done, Sally. You obviously got passed that brown envelope around before the jurors came in. And
excuse me.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, there we go. Well, Your Honour, would you like to close things up?
Thank you very much indeed. I will now close this court session for today. Hopefully I don't see any of you again anytime soon. All rise!
All rise. Gonna be honest, that was a load of old bollocks and a complete farce.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Take a far-out trip into the twilight zone of late-night radio with Iain Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation. Make contact with Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Well, that was silly and fun, wasn't it? Don't call in for a bit, because we've got a guest coming up. You can call in if you want to hover on the line. You'd be very, very welcome. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Twitter a little bit later on. Twitter and Facebook, because I'm reading this Matt Haig book, Notes on a Nervous Planet, and I've done something tonight. I don't know if it will sustain it, but I'll talk about it a bit later on. But Twitter, as you know, is very interesting to me. And what's interesting is that how people from all across the world, from all different political backgrounds and ideologies, can get in touch. And do you know what? I can't remember exactly what this is, but our next guest either tweeted me or retweeted something. I don't quite remember. But I just saw when an interesting Twitter handle pops up on my line. Thank you, Catherine. I quite often, I'll click the link and look at the bio just to see. You stay here. Just click the link to see the bio, to see who it is, and more often than not, it's Joe Schmo from Kokomo, and sometimes it's someone quite interesting, quite unexpected, and someone that I wouldn't normally get to speak to. So when I was retweeted, or it popped up in my timeline that at Patriot Kane had retweeted me or something. I thought, oh, this looks interesting. So I had a little quick look on his Twitter, and you can go and look at Patriot Kane, and it said, this is the bio, right? Deplorable walking cane company, 24-year Marine Service related disability, but still able to defend myself and will eagerly do so from somewhere called Clewiston in Florida. Well, that sounds very exotic to me. Florida sounds great. And I just thought, wow, that sounds like a really interesting human being. There's a lot of information in that bio. So we kind of got tweeting a little bit, and I went and looked at the website at patriotkane.com. Well worth having a look at. And we got kind of chatting, and I invited Ron on the line, and Ron joins me now. Good evening, Ron.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, man. Tell me about Clewiston. I've not heard of Clewiston before.
It's the home of U.S. sugar.
Well, there you go then. It's got to come from somewhere. It might as well be Clewiston.
Right, it might as well. We are America's sweetest town.
I love it. Tell me about these Patriot canes. What are they?
They're walking canes that we make that have a solid steel lower core, because you need to be able to defend yourself when you go somewhere. And a lot of places, a lot of people that see you with the walking cane automatically assume that you're a target. And not everybody's crazy in America and carries a gun.
So people see someone with a walking cane and think there is a physical weakness, a vulnerability, and more open to muggings and things like that?
Absolutely.
What gave you the idea to come up with this? You had a run-in yourself, didn't you?
We've had several. I've always had I've felt vulnerable just in itself, because I carry a cane.
Right.
And you become a target. But there are just, with all of these, we're in such a crazy political environment now that it's no problem just for someone that you agree with or not just to go and beat you up. And if you're not able, then what are you going to do?
So, because your website kind of suggests that let me get this right. You're a Republican, and have you actually been attacked by Democrats, by those on the left, or is it something that you've just heard has happened?
People have that I'm aware of, that I am friends with in my circle have.
Yeah. Wow. Just because of their political beliefs?
I think so.
Wow.
I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a Republican or anything.
Okay, sorry.
Because everybody buys canes.
Well, it's got a good point there. And is this, because I find it incredible. Hey, listen, we're a phone-in show, and if people disagree with me, they can phone in and we'll have a good argument, but it's never going to get physical. I find it incredible that people, and I know it happens, of course it happens, I know it happens in the States, and it's kind of happening over here in the UK. Do you think it's a recent development that people are getting physical because of political differences?
Well, I hate to enter the Trump-free zone, but yeah, I believe it's all Trump related.
Really? You think it's kind of really taken off since Trump came into power?
I believe that the country here in America is so divided.
Yeah.
And one side, the people with guns are not violent, and the people without guns are.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about it. And a lot of us just don't want to be attacked, and we don't want to hurt anybody either.
Now, as obviously in the UK, we have completely different gun laws to the ones you have over there. So to hear someone saying that the people with guns aren't violent and the ones without guns are violent, that sounds like an oxymoron to me. That doesn't make sense. Can you explain that?
Well, most people that own guns in America belong to something called the NRA.
Right.
We're law-abiding citizens that are respectful of the laws and of other people. However, on the other side of the spectrum, there are people that, well, just when Ben Shapiro, for example, was trying to give a speech, or Milo, the other team, if you will, went out with bike locks and just started just kind of beating the hell out of people. And that's just not what gun people and honest, law-abiding citizens are not going to just go and do that. And that's why I developed this cane.
Yeah.
It's because we don't want to kill anybody. We want to stop them from killing us.
It could be argued, though, that gun people do. I mean, we hear, every other week of a shooting in a school and that's someone with a gun, isn't it, as opposed to a bike chain?
Well, I guess it is, but now we also have to. I'm not a spokesman for anyone in America or the IRA.
No, you're just a spokesman for yourself. And it's just, you brought up that people with guns aren't violent, but obviously we over here hear the stories of people going into schools, for example, and killing loads of their classmates.
Absolutely.
And so they are gun people.
Well, no, what they are people that own guns. They are not legal gun owners, and if they are, they're not NRA members. There's a big difference in there are a whole different level of gun cultures in this country. I belong to a gun culture of Americans that have no interest in breaking the law, have no interest in hurting anyone, and only really want to hunt, self-defense, or target. Yeah.
And of course, the number of Americans that have guns and the number of idiots that go off and do these shootings, of course,
it's crazy.
Most gun owners in the States are responsible, sensible people. But there are these exceptions that kind of ruin that. How long has this business been going, Ron?
For about a year and a half.
Do you always dress up as Uncle Sam in your publicity pictures? I've noticed that about you, that you're always dressed up as Uncle Sam.
My locals like it.
Okay. And can I ask how many of these are impressive? These are impressive canes, right? There's all different kinds. They're not actually that expensive. $55 for the US flag derby style.
Right.
They're all pretty impressive. Can I ask how many you've sold? How the business is going?
The business is going great. I would have to, on average, say that we're probably around 2,000 right now.
Wow, hey, and I'm gonna send tweet the links and stuff, Ron. But do you ship to the UK if people are interested in a Patriot cane? Do you ship?
Well, we do. We just have to get the prices. I don't know, shipping costs straight. Okay. That's about the only problem that we're having right now. But we would like to ship them over there.
I'm intrigued by your disclaimer. If you wouldn't mind me just reading the disclaimer at the bottom of patriotcane.com. Patriot Cane is not liable for any damage, injury, or negative consequences to any person using our canes. They are designed to be a walking and stability aids. In other words, we will not be responsible if you decide to use your cane to go Chuck Norris on someone. However, and here's the interesting bit, we guarantee 100% replacement if damaged while neutralising anyone burning an American flag. That's it. Come on, man. If someone smashes their cane in because they're stoving someone's head in because they're burning the flag, you'll replace it? Come on, Ron.
Absolutely, 100% free.
No, come on, man.
Absolutely. You bet.
Because that seems a bit extreme. Smashing someone's head in with a metal cane just because they're burning a flag. And I know the flag to you means, is significantly different.
We never suggested anything or anyone hitting anyone.
No.
If it so happens, we will replace that cane.
Come on. Have you ever stoved anybody's head in or battered anybody with one of these Patriot canes?
Not a person.
Well, what have you battered?
Well, a gym bag,
Okay, I thought you were going to say like a cat or something.
Oh, Lord, no.
A puppy.
Heavens no.
I thought you were going to say, my dog. No. Okay.
Come on, man. Easy.
Easy. Back away from that. What military service did you do, if you don't mind me asking?
American United States Marine Corps.
And how long were you there for, man?
A long time.
Well, listen, I genuinely thank you for your service, and I appreciate the work and the stuff that you must have gone through. How you find, because quite often over here in the UK we hear that life for ex-service personnel ain't great, that there can often be, PTSD or mental illness, and even if there isn't, they're not looked after particularly well by the British government. What's the situation like in the States?
I think it all depends on the location. I don't have any problems with the VA in the state of Florida.
Okay,
with the military treatment.
Okay, so they're looking after you and stuff.
I believe so. Yes, but I don't speak for the NRA or the VA or anybody.
Oh no,
I just speak for Patriot, Kane.
Yeah. Can I read a couple of tweets to you from your account? And I
would rather you didn't.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The one about the journalist getting shot. You reap what you sow.
Can read that one.
I hate that.
You can read that one.
I hate that reporters got shot. I also think that someone held a journalist accountable for something they wrote. Lives of innocent people are ruined every minute of the day by journalists. Reap what you sow. And then there's another tweet.
Absolutely.
Journalists just got held accountable for something they reported. That seems
right,
Ron. That seems because thing is I like you, Ron, and I'm enjoying chatting to you. But that seems a bit extreme. That 5 journalists being murdered is a case of reaping what you sow.
Well, you have to realize that no matter who you are or where you live or what you do in this world, you have to be you're going to be held accountable for your actions.
Of course.
Now, whether that's fair, whether it's not fair, and as I said, I think it was one of the most horrible things that has happened since the shooting down here in Florida. But these are things that we have to deal with.
But couldn't they be dealt with?
Each other. No. When we stop being hateful to each other, then my company goes out of business and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
That's what we really want. We really want everyone to just kind of, everybody needs to calm down.
I agree with you on that totally, man. And I also agree with you. You are accountable. I'm accountable for what I say on this show, and those journalists are accountable for what they put in their papers. Of course they are. But surely that accountability shouldn't be at the threat of getting shot in the head or shot in the chest. Surely that should be, if I disagree with what something's in a paper, I can phone them up, I can write them a letter, I can send them an email, I can go to another paper and tell a different side of the story. The thought of murdering people, doesn't that go against free speech? So saying
it goes against everything that an American would stand for.
But then you tweet, you reap what you sow, and that just feels
well. Unfortunately,
cold.
Your account, you have to be actions have consequences. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm not saying that it's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not because I certainly don't. I think that any of these people are lunatics.
Yeah.
But that's just what they are. I can't fix it. But I also know that if I walk down my street and start yelling crazy things to my neighbors, someone's going to kick my butt.
But again, kicking the butt is different from a bullet in the head.
Well, you know what? I live in South Florida, so there's a better chance that I'm going to get shot than there is that I'm going to get my butt kicked.
Wow. One final tweet.
That's just the reality.
One final tweet. Listen to black music, black poetry, black movies and TV shows. Listen to a black athlete being interviewed. They have an unrealistic, false sense of pride and accomplishment. No one dares call them out on it, though. That would be racist. What do you mean by that, Ron?
Well, I think it's clear what I mean by it. I think that there's a lot of unchecked, unrealistic viewpoints in America that won't be ever presented anywhere else. I mean, we're afraid to address anything, no matter what it is. I don't care if you don't like dogs or you don't like cats or, in your case, owls.
Yeah, well.
If you're
you had to mention the owl. I wish I had one of your sticks when that owl came to me, Ron. I tell you that.
That's why I tweeted it in the first place. Because I thought if you'd had one of these, you'd have done it. Anyway, I appreciate the phone call, man.
All right. Look, Ron, I appreciate your time as well. The website is Patriot. What's the website? PatriotKane.com.
PatriotKane.com.
All right, fella. Thank you very much indeed. That's Ron Smith, PatriotKane.com, at Patriot Kane if you want to go and have a look with him on Twitter. Thank you for that, Ron. Appreciate that. Interesting guy, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I like him. But some of his views are incredible. I still don't quite get that black tweet. It to me, smarts of racism. I don't quite get what was being said. And it's interesting that we kind of addressed it and he wanted to move on, and in the interview there, it kind of smacks of racism. Nothing wrong with being a patriot. I don't get patriotism. I don't get it. I think it's nonsense. But there's nothing wrong with that. He served his country. Excellent. Thank you for that. And it's funny, what he was saying didn't really tally with the tweets. But lives of innocent people are ruined every minute of the day by journalists. Reap what you sow. Can we just go ahead and say what needs to be said? Journalists just got held accountable for something they reported. Hashtag
Did they? Because that's not come
shooting.
through yet. I know that guy had some sort of dispute with the newspaper, but further than that...
It's interesting. Yet what he was saying with his words and his voice, I kind of agreed with. He said we all need to calm down. Yeah, we do. I don't know if tweets like that necessarily are putting water or oil on the fires that are burning.
It's interesting, though. I'm already getting... There's someone on YouTube saying that, oh, yeah, he's right, that journalists don't have any accountability at all.
Okay.
It's interesting, isn't it, that the journalists have become the enemy.
Bad guys, yeah. Oh, well, that's been going on for a while. And we can trace that back. Teachers are the enemy and have been for about 10, 15 years. Lazy teachers.
Remember when the doctors were the enemy?
Well, we'll go through the whole thing. Teachers, the people that I entrust my two most precious items to 5 days a week, they're the enemy and have been for a long time. The fire service became the enemy. That's why it was okay to close loads of fire
stations.
I was going to say fireplaces, although they have been. But they became the enemy. Always striking. They're not working all the time. They're doing second jobs.
They're just upstairs shooting pool and eating shepherd's pie.
Foreign nurses and doctors of all nationalities.
All nurses, actually.
All nurses now. Yeah, doctors. The police, and it could be argued. I can see why it's slightly easier to besmirch the police because we're hearing about Hillsborough again today, and there are instances throughout history. So I can kind of see, but the whole police force, and then it's journalists. Journalists are the next, and once journalists are completely discredited, it will be someone else.
But what I found interesting is the people leading the charge against the journalists are amateur journalists who want to wrestle credibility away from the mainstream media. What the implication is you can't believe them, you must believe us. It's a fight for power and influence.
I enjoyed talking to Ron. Yeah, he was. He tweeted me about the owl. And if I'd had one of his Patriot canes, man alive.
If only.
If only. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You can listen to Talk Radio on DAB. You can download the app, or you can go to talkradio.co.uk. This show, The Late Night Alternative, is on weeknights from 10 until 1. I'm Iain Lee. Who are you?
Katherine Boyle.
If you just tuned in, you missed the trial of the century. Alan Caddick was on trial. Was he guilty or not guilty? You'll just have to listen on Catch Up or a podcast next week. Because you should have been listening.
You're such a sore loser.
Yeah. Well, then they don't need to listen to the podcast now. I was doing some...
Or is he?
Well, you just ruined it, you muppet. Let's go to Neville. Good evening, Neville.
Hello.
Hello, Neville.
I want to tell you my story when I was attacked by an owl.
Okay, well, let me just compose myself.
I was in the
Hang
woods,
on, Neville, let me just compose myself if you don't mind, mate.
Needs a trigger warning, Neville.
Okay, I think I can do this. Away you go.
I was out in the woods waiting for the meet up. And,
the meet up?
Yeah, we was dogging. And
did you have a dog?
No, the other dogging.
Okay, wow. Wow.
When he says meet up, he means M-E-A-T.
He means meet right up.
Boom.
Yeah, was gathering. And
of a sexual, unromantic sexual nature.
Yes.
Okay.
And this thing come out of the tree, and it was walking on its knuckles eating pike. So I looked at it again, and it turned its neck with a 360. I said, bloody hell, what's that?
Yes.
I had a leather jacket on with its wings coming out, a flip knife, flew past me, took me out. I had to get a nose job for it, took my nose out.
Flipping heck.
It was horrible. It was a beast.
It was wearing a leather jacket and eating pike?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it had a flip knife.
Hey! This owl meant business. I don't know if my owl was tooled up, and I don't know what it was wearing.
You know what he said to me?
Hoot, 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 hoot.
No, he said, do you want to buy any copper, lad? So I said, no, and then he just went ballistic and then tried to murder me.
Wow. How did you escape, Neville?
I had to crawl away. I was a girl. I was like, mercy, please. I was doing the French, the white flag and everything.
The French white flag. Wow, this was serious, man.
I give up. You win.
Well, Neville, I'm glad you escaped. I'm glad he showed you mercy.
But the main thing is, though, I don't have owlet AIDS. That's the main thing.
You got checked out for that, did you? I'm getting my test results back in 2.5 weeks.
It's not the end of the world if you've got it.
Okay. Hey, listen, man, I really appreciate that call. Thank you, Neville.
All right, bye.
Bye, Neville. Oh, God, that's a horrific story.
Thanks for sharing your story, Neville.
That is an horrific story, isn't it? Really is. I mean, that's awful. After midnight...
He's so brave, isn't he?
He really is a brave soldier. After midnight, I thought we'd do the S word.
Oh, yeah.
With the new Paul McCartney single.
Oh.
Which I think is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 songs. We'll do the fast song, not the slow song. Although the slow song is good. But we'll do that straight after midnight.
Is that the post Me Too song?
Yeah. It's a little bit rapey, but
it's not rapey. It's consensual.
It's consensual.
All about consent.
It is. So we'll do that after midnight. You going to say something? You took an intake of breath.
No, I was just thinking about Paul McCartney and just what a battler he is.
Yeah, he's not coming on this show though. We got an email saying Paul McCartney's not coming. We got a patronising email saying thanks for the request, Iain. Really made us chuckle here in the office. But nah, we're not letting him come on your poxy little show. So we're not.
I use the word poxy.
Yeah, I can use. They didn't. I can.
Oh right. Yeah.
So we've not got Paul McCartney on the show, which is.
I mean that we know of. Maybe he's come on doing a voice.
Maybe he's Alan Caddick.
Yeah.
He's playing the long game. 0344 499 1000. This is the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Here's a really nice story from abroad. So this is like the underground. Where is this? Is this? I think it's Canada. I'm going to say Canada until we are. It's in Broadview Station, which I think is in Canada. I'm going to say Canada until I'm.
Let's just say Canada
until it proves it's American. An underground rider, a TTC rider. I don't know what a TTC rider is. Okay, and 2 others are being hailed as heroes after a witness said she saw him jump onto the tracks of an underground train to save a blind man who had fallen.
Toronto Transit rider.
So it's America. Julie Caniglia was on her way home from work on Thursday afternoon when the subway train made a longer than usual stop at Broadview Station. Help me please, eh? She said she heard a faint voice say in a Facebook post that has since gone viral. Without hesitation, Caniglia said in the post, she saw a man in an animal print T-shirt jump down to save a man who'd fallen on the tracks. The fallen man had a walking cane and appeared to be blind, she said. 2 other men then arrived to help the rescue, and this story has a happy ending, eh? Caniglia said. It was all quite fast and just incredible to watch, eh? Caniglia said in a phone interview with the Star Friday Morning. I would love him to get recognised as a good Samaritan, eh? And that's a really good Canadian accent, eh? A TTC spokesperson said a customer on the West platform was quick to press the blue button at the end of the platform to cut off power before the unknown man jumped onto the tracks. Both men could have been electrocuted if they touched the third rail which supplies power to the trains. The spokesperson said the 3 men who rescued the man who fell had all gone. Oh, listen, so blind fella falls onto the track. Someone hits the button to cut the power. Someone else jumps down on the track, and they all get him out.
Incredible.
Which is incredible. And there's a picture there of the 3. They're young lads, late 20s, mid 20s, and then there's the blind fella just lying on the floor, right? And the 3 of them look absolutely shagged. They really do. Good for them. The spokesperson said the 3 men who rescued the man who fell had all gone by the time the chief superintendent of the TTC had arrived at the scene, and witnesses did not get their names before they left. The victim was taken to hospital with minor injuries. Isn't that? Oh my God, I still have faith in people, wrote one commenter. We need more heroes. These young men give us hope for the future of mankind. For now, they're like these mystery good Samaritans, eh? The TT spokesperson said. And that picture that's a great picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's incredible. What a lovely story. And the fact that they didn't stick around, they just, you're right, we could leave you with the dude. Okay, fine. They went off. Didn't want any credit or anything for it. I'm sure they'll pop up at some point in the next day or two, because that picture will have been seen by millions of people. But it's just three young lads risk their lives a bit, jumping on a train track. That's not a great thing. If you've ever been on the London Underground, man, imagine jumping down on a train track.
But fancy having the presence of mind to shut off the current.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know where to do that.
I don't know if you can on the UK one. Maybe this is a famous Canadian system that they have. I just thought that was such a nice story. Three young blokes did something nice and saved a bloke's life.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful, and I want to focus more on stuff like that. Again, partly inspired by we're getting Matt Haig in a week or two. He wrote Reasons to Stay Alive, The Humans, loads of other books. His new one, Notes on a Nervous Planet, is brilliant. It's brilliant, and it's caused me to try and do a couple of changes in my life. But it just points out how at the moment society is very inward looking instead of outward looking, partly because of technology, partly because of social media, but the whole of humanity is almost infected with this virus of looking inwards and anxiety building, because news is constant, 24-hour news channels, scrolling news, bombs, is it a bomb? There was a story a couple of days ago that there was a suspicious car outside the BBC. That's all I heard was there's a suspicious car outside the BBC where my wife works. I've got an interest in it. And bomb disposal have gone there. I'm assuming it wasn't a bomb because I've not seen a story afterward. If it was a bomb, there would have been a story, bomb found outside the BBC. But what I didn't see was it wasn't a bomb, it was just a car parked there by mistake story. There was no defusing of that situation in the minds of people. So a year down the line, you might go, do you remember when there was a bomb, wasn't there, outside the BBC about a year ago? There was a bomb there. There was no, I'm sure it's out there somewhere, the result of that story, but that should be getting the same prominence. That should go to the same place that I saw that story, with suspicious the bomb disposal team sent to the BBC. 20 minutes later, it should say, don't worry, guys, it was just someone who parked badly.
Yeah. And what about that explosion that was reported at the tube station?
Oh, yeah, that we cancelled Tony Robinson for. What was that? We've not heard anything on that.
Well, they said it was some sort of...
They were kind of hinting that it was a battery, but there's no... It should have been the next day. Hey, guys, you know that bomb, in inverted commas, at Southgate Station? Don't worry, it's a really old station. It was just one of the generators went bang and it panicked everybody. But just to let you know, we have not had a bomb on the London Underground since the 7th of July, whenever that was, 15 years ago, whenever that was. I don't remember how long it was ago. Because do you remember that bomb that was at wasn't there a bomb at Southgate Station, North London? I don't feel safe. So we get this anxiety and there's never any release of it.
It's a constant sort of drip, drip.
Constantly.
And also you were talking yesterday about the fact that we are constantly being sold products that make us feel a little bit like we need them because we're not good enough. Yeah. And it's that all the time.
Read the book. You've got a copy of it. Try and read it over the weekend.
I'm going to read it this weekend.
You can read it in a sitting if you really go at it. You can certainly do it in 2 sittings. It's one of those. It's a cracking book.
He's such a good writer. Yeah. You don't want to put it down. So I'm going to give it a good go tomorrow.
Let's go to Dave. Good evening, Dave.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Dave. What have you got for us?
Just like to talk about what Katherine did last week when she was on the radio.
Oh, I thought it was going to get a little bit stalkery there and say what Katherine did at 2 p.m. on Thursday last week in her pyjamas because I was watching it. No, go on, Dave. Was it rubbish?
Right. No, I thought she was brilliant.
Hey.
And I thought she came in.
Yeah.
She steadied the ship, got lots of viewers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Going up the scales on YouTube.
Oh.
And then you have got the gall and the brass neck to come in and say, I'm taking over.
Okay. What is this? What?
He makes a good point.
What? No, you keep out of this, you. There's no judge.
No, Katherine, don't keep out of it. I think you're brilliant.
Listen, mate, can you show me your left hand? Yeah, there's a wedding ring on there, mate. You're barking up the wrong tree.
No, I just thought she was brilliant. I enjoyed it more.
Well, here's what I've noticed, Dave, that she has attracted a lot of new callers, but they're all thick because they all use...
Like you?
No, I'm not. Well, no, like you, because I'm not a caller. So there you go. Because they call in and they can only use one. What is brilliant an adjective?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, they only use one. They only use one adjective. Oh, she was brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Oh no, seriously, she was fantastic. There we go.
That'll do me.
We got another one. Outstanding. Go on, Dave. Let's get to the bottom of your vocabulary. Give us another.
Fabulous.
It's a bit like fantastic.
No, it's not. It's great.
It's different.
It is different, but it's not. You know, it's superfluous.
Oh.
It is.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you've admitted that. All right, Dave. Well, okay. All right, Dave. What can I do to make my show better?
What can you do?
Yes, mate.
Give it to Catherine.
Give what to Catherine? That's a bit inappropriate.
The whole show.
Oh, get stuffed.
You get stuffed.
You get stuffed.
No, you.
No, you.
Listen, mate. You're getting stuffed, not me.
You're getting stuffed right now, sunshine. What a plonker.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
It's the Late Night Alternative. It's Friday night. You know the nature of the show. Me and Catherine sit here and we talk nonsense, and you're welcome to chip in at any moment, either about the nonsense we're talking or about any odd rubbish. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back. We called Brian back. Good evening, Brian.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Brian.
Ian, I just wanted to make sure that you were okay after, was it the owl incident?
I'm okay, yes. Thank you for your concern, Brian.
Because I think Catherine did a great job.
When?
Last week, when you went here.
Okay, so what do you say? I am here now, so I'm not sure what you're saying, Brian.
No, I think that you shouldn't be on here.
Sorry?
I was agreeing with Dave. You shouldn't be on here.
What do you mean I shouldn't be on here? This is my job.
It's not. It's Catherine's. She's a great... She should be hosting this.
Well, Catherine is the producer and co-host. It's my show, mate. It's the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. It's my show. I'm hosting it. All I can see that Catherine has done since I've been away is attract a load of weak-accented idiots to the show.
No, that's not true.
Oh.
I think it is true.
You're saying I'm not from Glasgow, Scotland.
I'm saying that you may have been originally from Glasgow, Scotland, but perhaps you've travelled a lot.
How bloody dare you? How bloody dare you?
You watch your language.
No,
and your accent.
You watch yours.
You watch yours?
I can get people to hurt you. I'd watch yourself.
I've got a Patriot cane.
Have you?
Yeah.
Go on, get him.
Sorry?
Get him.
Who? Who's get...
The Patriot cane.
No, it's a stick.
Get it.
Right, I've got it.
And I'll meet you. I'll come down.
Come down to... You come down from Glasgow. You come down to London now. You'll be say about 45 minutes, an hour, and I'll meet you outside, and I will kick the shit out of you.
No, you won't.
Yes.
I'll kick the shit out of you.
I will kick the out of you.
You're big bollocks. You think you're the real deal.
Right.
You're not.
I am the real deal, sunshine.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
I am.
I will deal with you.
Okay, thank you. We got that on tape.
You what? You?
I think he said he will kill me. I think he said that. Another video.
The Kath fans are very, very fighty tonight.
So, this is the thing, Catherine. Your fans, the next Kath fan club meeting that you have in your clubhouse?
Yeah.
Could you tell all of your boyfriends that they're thick idiots and I don't want them phoning my show anymore? The last two callers have been absolute arses.
They're not going to like that.
Tough. I don't want them calling my show. And if your honeypot is attracting vile common bees like that, if they're all swarming around your little jam jar, then I suggest you screw the lid back on the jam jar. Yeah?
You scared of my jam?
I am very, very scared of your sweet, sweet honey.
Well, you're right to be.
Yeah, so
it's very, very powerful stuff.
I think it's going a bit mouldy. So
Doesn't go mouldy, honey. You can keep for thousands of years.
Well,
they found some in the pyramids.
Yeah,
it's still viable.
Well, here's the thing you don't know is I put my spoon in your honey, took it out,
You never.
licked it clean,
Whoa.
and then I put it back in there and I left it in the fridge. So actually, it is your honey is. Are you talking about a vagina? Because I'm talking about literal honey.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Wow.
But I do feel a bit violated.
I wouldn't put a spoon in your vagina. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you'd be very, very welcome to, unless you're one of her fans, in which case I will give you her mobile phone number and you can call her up and troll her and send her dick pics.
And I'll tell you where Iain lives.
Well, hopefully I'm moving. I had the removal man came round today to look at the stuff. Now, here's the thing. You know when I email America, and they always reply Lane. They always reply Laine. So what I've taken to doing is sending them, instead of doing it when I sign my name, a capital IAIN, I do lowercase I.
Like a teenage girl.
Yeah. So it's all lowercase, so they can see it's an I. They still reply with Lane, right? Well, the removal guy, who's a Brit, he's emailing me as Lane. And I met him today, and you'd think he would have recognised me because I'm a big star. And yet he sent me an email this evening addressed to Lane.
Lane from the Jumble.
It's something like that. But so hopefully I have a date.
Do you trust him to find the right address?
He was a very, very nice guy, and it really it felt like something was being achieved, because this, I've been living in this place for ages and ages and ages. This room, cracked the sink the other day in the bathroom. I cracked the sink in the bathroom. I've been in there for about 2 years. I haven't done any damage. Right? I've used the cooker thrice. And I thought, I'm going to get away with this. And then I knocked my aftershave bottle into the sink, and it smashed the sink. Flipping it. That's my entire. Well, they can get a sink for 75 quid. That's my entire. What do they call it? Not inheritance. Deposit. That's my entire deposit is going to get swallowed up by a broken sink. Oh man! But hopefully, 4 weeks' time, I'm getting the keys to my new house. I've said it out loud now, and I shouldn't have said it out loud because it won't be. It'll be 5 or 6 weeks, but we've got an initial date. So but the problem is, of course, we're going up to Manchester. We're doing so we're going to Manchester to do a show on the 28th, Saturday the 28th. There's 20 tickets left for a venue that holds 65. It's disappointing. Ticketsource.co.uk/Iain-Lee, or go to iainlee.com/events. So we're going up there. And I think Jenny McAlpine's going to come and see the show, hopefully. And her wonderful husband, Chris, although I haven't told them that yet. So we'll probably tell them the day before. We're going to go to their place for lunch on Saturday. Annie's.
Lovely.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. So I've heard really good things about it.
You know who else is coming?
Who?
Guest of honour, our hero from Manchester, Tez.
Hey! Oh, brilliant. The young lady that found all £10,000 worth of equipment didn't want a reward.
Returned it. And she's had us round to her house and all sorts.
Absolute hero. Oh, that's fantastic. Good. I like her a lot. And are we going up on the Friday, the day before, to do the show?
Yeah, I don't mind.
To do the show from a listener's house?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because we've got that new technology now that means we don't need to carry £10,000 worth of equipment round. That we can just
as well, eh?
Just do it on the old computer. So the day that we're going to Manchester is the day I'm supposed to be getting the keys to my new house. So what I'm thinking is, you go up to Manchester.
Yeah.
You do the show from someone's house on the Friday.
Right.
You do the rabbit hole on the Saturday, and I'm in my new house.
Right. And,
sounds like a plan.
And you do what?
I just kind of walk around my new house crying because I can't actually afford it. That's what I'll do.
Well, if that's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do.
Well, I think I'm more than up to it.
No, we will be up the 28th of July, Saturday the 28th of July. We'll be going for lunch at Annie's, which is owned by the wonderful Jenny McAlpine and her fantastic husband Chris. And then we'll be doing a raid. When we're going there for lunch, it's not like we're appearing there. I'm just saying it because I want to give it a plug, because I've heard it's really, really nice. Then we're doing the show, the Rabbit Hole show on the Saturday night. But on the Friday night, the 27th, we need somewhere to do the show from. So
Yeah.
if you're a regular listener, we need is good internet that I can plug into. That's all we need.
And for you not to be, a mad axe murderer.
Oh, yeah, don't be one of Kath's fans. Be one of my fans, please. Let's go to Scott. Good evening, Scott.
All right, how's life? No, it's not Scott, it's Chizzy Scott. Do you listen here now?
Yes, Scott.
It's Chizzy Scott.
It's Chizzy Scott.
Yes.
Oh, come on, man. I'm all up for a prank and a laugh, but I'm certainly not up for fruity language like that. Dearie me. I think we dumped that one. Did we dump that one? Because my light hasn't gone red. But for the people on the YouTube channel, and if it snuck out because the system doesn't always work, you have my sincerest apologies. Give me a thumbs up when we're back as well to speak, please. Now, we don't like language like that. Not on the air. In our private lives, we are effing and jeffing like nobody's business. But on the radio, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. The reason we're waiting slightly is because we have this wonderful system, the 7-second delay. And what that means is, because you wouldn't have heard the swear word at home, but what that means is, thank you, Sam, is that someone phones up and swears. And I'm saying this for other practices because I like people phoning in and being funny. I like it.
And you know what? I think he was going somewhere there.
Yeah,
and
I
just
think
got
he
a bit
was.
excited.
Yeah, but don't swear, don't be racist, don't be libelous, because I've got a button here that will just drop it. What doesn't get broadcast. So we're operating today. So just bear that in mind, man. Bear that in mind. But have fun. Good evening, Paul.
Ian, how you doing, buddy?
Very well, thank you, mate. What you got for us?
Good, man. Well, welcome home. Firstly, I haven't called you since you've been home, so welcome
Thank you,
home.
Paul. I was waiting for your call. I can relax my buttocks now.
Good man. I don't know when you're going to cross Offa's Dyke.
Sorry?
When you're crossing Offa's Dyke.
Arthur's Dyke. I don't know what Arthur's Dyke is.
Offa's Dyke. The separation between Wales and England. I noticed you're going to Scotland. Are you coming to us?
Oh, yeah, no, we are coming to Scotland, yes.
No. He's saying you're coming to
Wales, man.
Wales. Oh, I can't understand what word he's saying, man.
Oh, he's Welsh.
Okay. Well, listen, we're struggling to sell tickets in a venue in Manchester that we sold out before quite quickly, and we've sold 30 tickets for a venue in Scotland that holds 240. So I suspect the pulling power of the jungle has worn off. Find me a venue in Wales, Paul. Find me a venue that holds about 50, 60 people and we'll come and do it.
Well, the unions, for definite. So you've got, the University of South Wales, you've got Cardiff.
Oh, I don't know if I'd want to do a union, because that terrifies me. That terrifies me. What we want is a small little art centre, little theatre that holds 50, 60, 70, and we'll come and do it.
Well, you've got Chapter Arts. I think that's where Stuart Lee did one of his DVDs a few years back.
I've heard that mentioned before. Chapter Arts.
Chapter Arts, yes, in Cardiff.
Isn't that quite big? Let me have a little look. Why do I feel like I've been in touch with these people?
I think you have.
And they weren't up for it. I think I've been in touch with these people before and they weren't up for it, or it was too expensive, or there was something. I'll have another little look, because I'd love to.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to see you here, man. But
hang on a minute. Here we go. I'm just going through my emails. Go on. You can talk. I'm just going through my emails.
No problem. There's the comedy club. So you've got there's the Glee Club, which is on the Bay. You've got a Jongleurs, but it's a typical Jongleurs, But the Glee Club is good, and they do kind of alternative events there as well.
All right. Well, I might have a little look at the Glee Club then as well. Well, we'd love to. I love Wales.
You should, man. And the other thing as well, when you're in South Wales, you should visit Llancaich Fawr, which is like an old manor house. It's like a mid-16th century manor house, and it's the most haunted place in Wales. And I know you're keen on that kind of stuff, so yeah, give it a go.
All right, nice one. Well, thank you for that, Paul. I appreciate it.
All right, dude.
Here we go. Thank you. Patriot Kane guy is going to make me a special Owl edition Patriot Kane. I liked Ron. And I know, and here's the thing, I think you can like people, of course you can like people who are, diametrically opposed to you politically. You can. And that's that seems unacceptable at the moment, because with Twitter and all these things, we are encouraged to separate into our little tribes.
Everyone
and throw
picks a
stones at
side.
each other.
Yeah.
Throw stones at each other.
The number of times people have accused me of being a left-wing liberal without actually knowing anything about me at all. It's just the assumption is there.
Yeah, well, the guy having a go at us today because we work for Murdoch, and so we're part of the whole Hillsborough thing, and we're part of Millie Dow. We're part of that. And he said, I used to like you, Ian, but you didn't follow me on Twitter. You've never listened to the show. I don't think you do, you know.
I talked him round.
Yeah.
He realised how silly it was that he was saying that, because, you know, are you responsible for everything that people you've ever worked with or have ever worked at your place have done? Yeah. The other thing is, he lives in Bangkok. So, you know, I could say, if I was being unkind, that he's propping up one of the most corrupt economies there is, and exploitative economies there is, just by being there.
Well,
and he's complicit.
You did say it.
I didn't. I suggested that
now.
Would be unfair to say that.
By the way, very quickly, when I was in America, I did an interview with Keith and the Girl. Their podcast, you can get it. I think it went up Monday or Sunday, maybe. It's filthy. It's the most honest interview I've ever done. And it's great. If you go to keithandthegirl.com, or if you go to iTunes and type in Keith and the Girl, it would appear. I've just retweeted their YouTube link of a game that we recorded afterwards, where Hemda reads out, she watches trailers and describes them to me and Keith.
Hemda never goes to the films,
right,
to the movies, does she?
Yeah, she was just picking films that had never been released in the UK. It's very sweary. It was a fix, and spoiler alert, I walked out at the end. I wasn't sticking around for that. They were embarrassing themselves, so I left. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Get an earful of unusual nocturnal emissions with radio's Lord of Misrule, Iain Lee. No relation, thank God.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. If you've just tuned in, flipping it, you've missed some 2 hours. First hour, the trial of the century, Alan Caddick, found not guilty. Second hour, I spoke to Ron Smith, who runs patriotcane.com, and we come from very different political backgrounds, I think. But I really enjoyed it. You know, and I want a Patriot cane. Not because I want to stove someone's head in, but I think they look cool, you know, and I just found him really interesting. And it's one of the good things of Twitter, because he saw the Owl tweets and was getting involved in that. It's one of the good things of Twitter. I think he's watching us. Hey, Ron. This is what happened, mate. If you're looking at the bandage, I think it's coming off at the weekend. What we're going to do, we've got 3 calls. We've got Lee, we've got Jake, who I think might be horny little teenagers who want to speak to a MILF. I don't know what...
I'll see if I can find them one.
Oh, look at that. I don't know what you were doing when I was away, but you've got all the 16, 17, 18-year-old boys hot under the collar.
Let's not preempt things.
I think it's because you remind them of Mummy, or maybe Nanny. So I think those, Lee and Jake might be that. Then we've got Nigel from Maidstone, so we'll find out how things are going with Nigel. And then we're going to play Yes Word or S Word with the new Paul McCartney single. Let's go to Lee. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, Ian. How you doing?
I'm very well, Lee. Thanks for calling. What have you got for us tonight?
2 things. I just wanted to say I'm a big fan of yours, and I want some advice off you, really.
Okay.
Basically, my dream is to become a radio DJ, and I just wondered if you could give me advice.
Well, I'm not a DJ.
No, but you're a talk show host, and you're good at it.
Right. Before I waste my valuable time giving you excellent career-defining advice...
Yeah.
Are you sure there's not a punchline at the end where you go, I really fancy Katherine and she's better than you?
No, she did do well last week when you was away, though. I give her that.
But he doesn't fancy me. No. Fine. Let's go.
No, you are very good looking, Katherine, honestly.
Oh, thanks.
But no, Ian, I've been a fan of you for years, and I followed you on I'm a Celebrity, and I voted for you every day, and they say you're good.
But what do you want to do? What do you want to do then?
I don't know, I'm just really interested in radio. I think I'm a bit old for it now. You said I was 17, 18 earlier on, but I'm almost 30.
Okay.
And I think I'm a bit too late to get into it, really.
Well, what do you see yourself doing? Presenting? Producing?
Yeah, presenting.
Okay. And what kind of stuff do you want to present? You said music DJ.
Yeah.
So is that the kind of thing you want to do?
Yeah, a bit like sort of, like not Heart, because that's not very good, but sort of like, like...
Don't tell them that.
Radio 1, sort of that sort of stuff, yeah.
Well, I do think you're probably too old for Radio 1, because it's all kids then. It's all kids there.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And I don't know what other... because Radio 2, it's all celebrities that host it. I don't know what other stations really do music that are, because they are all Heart, and they're all, they all come from London. There aren't any, what they used to be like 20 years ago. Like, proper independent local radio stations where you could go and learn your trade.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'd love to get into it, but I think I've just left it too late.
Well, what do you do now?
I work for a carpet company, so I'm a warehouse manager for that, and I'm also in the Army Reserves.
Okay, all right, okay. Can you get me a cheap rug?
Of course I can. Yeah, come and see me. I can get you loads of discount.
Oh, well, let's talk because my holiday cover isn't definitely settled on being Katherine.
Hang on a minute.
Well, no, I've got to write a review for Denny about it, and I can be swayed. How much could you get me off a rug, mate?
25% if I say you're my uncle.
If you could make it 50%.
Yeah, say he's your granddad.
I nearly told you to F off then. Nearly told you to F off, Katherine. If you can make it closer to 50%, I can get you a cover shift here.
Okay, yeah, I can do 50% any day. Right. I can give you it for free, actually.
But I'll meet you at the back with the engine running. Is it that kind of way?
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you, Lee?
Swindon.
Swindon. Do you I'm going to say something I'm going to regret. Do you fancy coming in for the first hour of one of the shows next week?
I would love to.
What have we got? What day?
Is this so you can get a rug?
Yeah, I can get rugs, yeah.
No, Ian, is this so you can get a rug?
No, it's not. Forget the rug. I'm teasing you. What? We've got some guests next week. What days
No,
haven't
I don't think we have, actually. No, we've got your fella from the...
This is a producer.
No, it's the one you fixed.
Yeah, so you should be on top of it. Who have we got?
Fella from the staircase thing.
Okay, we've got...
Wednesday.
From the staircase podcast, yeah, Wednesday. Monday or Tuesday, do you want to come in for literally the first hour? At 11 o'clock, you're getting kicked out.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd love to.
You fancy that? Right.
Yeah.
How do we do organise? Katherine, why don't you go and speak to this gentleman off air and do a little...
Yeah, because I'm not busy, mate. This is also you can get a rug. I think it's immoral.
I'm not getting a rug off him. I'm thinking, actually, a carpet might be nice.
Yeah, we can sort that.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
Outrageous.
Probably best we talk about that off air, just because of Ofcom and, the law
and things,
stuff. But if you could bring a colour chart, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Katherine,
definitely.
If you could go and get Lee's details and arrange it and find out what day he wants to come in, and he comes in for the first hour.
This is outrageous.
One day next week. It'd be a nice carpet. No
Thank you,
shoes
Ian,
on.
I appreciate that.
No, Lee, I appreciate that.
I'd love to see how it all works.
Come and sit in. I hate people coming in the studio, but for you...
He really wants a carpet.
Shut up. But for you, come in one day next week, and you can ask me anything, but you've got to ask me it on air, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
nice one. I'm going to pass you back to my smiling, glamorous assistant. She's my assistant.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ian.
Nice one, mate. Speak to you soon. See you next week. Let's go to Jake. Good evening, Jake.
Oh, Giddy's back, Ian.
Okay, thanks very much. Let's go to Jermaine. Good evening, Jermaine.
All right, mate.
All right, mate.
Is this TalkSport?
Yes, it is. What would you like to say?
Right, I think Man City are a money club, yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, Ian. Wait, is this Ian Lee?
Yes, Jermaine.
Wait, this is not TalkSport, is it?
No, it's not. It's not, Jermaine. No.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Ian, what have I done?
You phoned the wrong radio station, you pudding.
I have, Ian.
Put the phone down and
Ian.
go and cry.
No, Ian, I will not cry.
Cry.
I will not cry.
Cry!
Cry. Ian, you were crying after you got abused by an owl.
There was no shame. Yes, I was crying. I had my head ripped open by a raptor.
Shame. You got beaten up by an owl, mate.
Yes, I did get beaten up by an owl. And here's the thing. There is no shame in being beaten up by an owl.
There is, mate.
No, there isn't.
Mate, you probably fell down a hole as well, mate.
I did. I fell down a well, yes.
You did.
Yes. Why are you mentioning that? Why are you bringing up...
Ian, you are a numpty.
I'm a what?
You're a numpty.
A nodby?
No. Are you deaf as well now, Ian?
Pardon?
You're deaf as well.
Huh?
Yes, I thought so, Ian. You're deaf now.
Am I a nodby? Is that what you said? A nodby?
No.
Stop laughing, man! What did you call me?
A numpty.
A numpty.
Listen here.
Yes.
You fat. No, I'm not going to say that, Ian. I
No,
feel
well
bad.
done. Let's go to Nigel. Good evening, Nigel.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Nigel. How are you doing tonight, mate?
Oh, just thinking about, I visited Mum again today.
Yeah, what's the latest?
And, I had to, she wanted me to get some shopping for her, so, she wanted, a mirror to put her makeup on, a mirror. So I got her a mirror in Tunbridge Wells, but the cheapest one was £15, so I got one for £6 somewhere. In Superdrug, I got one for £6. £6.
Yeah. Okay.
So £15 in Boots for a mirror, it's ridiculous.
But mirrors are very... do you know what? I can't remember the last time I bought a mirror, Nigel. I wouldn't know how much they were.
But I got a good one, quite a big one, for £6 in Superdrug.
What are mirrors made of? I want to say magic.
Yeah, magic mirrors.
Magic mirrors.
I'm just trying to... the thing is, I took it back to Mum and... because do you know they've not shown the bruising? They've not shown the bruising on her face. She found out today when she looked into the mirror.
Right.
And she was so upset because she said, "Look at my face. It's black and blue. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was such a shock for me as well.
Yeah. It's tough.
For her to see herself in that state.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
Her face was completely... One side is completely black on one side. And I felt so sorry for her. I mean, it beggars belief, really.
Yep.
It does.
Yep. How are you, Nigel, in yourself?
I'm coping all right. I've been eating better. Actually,
What did you have today?
Earlier on the seat, I had a tea cake when I was in Tunbridge Wells. It was very nice with strawberry jam.
Yeah.
A tea cake.
Ooh,
and they do some quite big ones in the posh places. And then I had an egg and ham roll. No, egg and ham. You know the hard pastry one? No, it's meat. It's sort of
pork pie. A gala pie.
Pork meat with an egg in the middle. You know,
a gala pie. Me and Kath had a gala pie tonight, and I'd never heard of them until 2 weeks ago.
No, you cut pieces off of a big one, and it's in the square.
Yes, it's a gala pie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, with an egg in the middle.
It's a gala pie.
Is that what they call them? I didn't know.
Yes, they're gala pies.
Yes. But anyway, so I've got another slice.
We had one tonight.
Delicious.
Oh, it was great.
I've got 2 slices. There's one left in the fridge if I want another one. But they're ever so filling, aren't they?
Do you know what I fancy, Nigel? Talking about good old-fashioned, proper British English food. Yeah. I fancy a big bag of chips. A bag of chips, proper big fat chips slathered in salt and vinegar. That's what I fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Pie chips and gravy.
I've got some chips. I've got oven chips I can fry.
No, that's not. I want chips from a chip shop, and I want some white bread and butter as well.
And I've been eating more chocolate as well.
Well,
I've had 2 bars of chocolate already as well, so I haven't done too bad. And I like trifles. I bought some trifles. So I've had a trifle and a caramel pudding. So I put a pound on this evening.
So all the main food groups covered.
Don't worry, Nigel. You'll shit it out in the morning.
No, I put a pound on. That's strange. And I cycled 30 miles.
Yeah. Well, you've eaten a trifle and a gala pie. Of course you put a pound on, Nige.
Yeah. Did you know it's 30 miles to the hospital?
No, because I don't know where you live and I don't know where the hospital is.
Well,
so
Pembury, from Yalding to Pembury is 15 miles each way, and I've been doing that since last Friday.
How long does that take you to do?
An hour and a half each way.
Flipping it, man.
Yeah, and it's ever so hot, isn't it, the weather?
Yeah, you make sure you drink plenty of water.
So I'm lucky I put a pound on, really.
Well,
but it's because I've been eating more.
If only you put a pound on the winner of the Grand National.
Yes. So I've got a good idea on YouTube.
Yep.
I've got some drum solos, which would be something different. Play a short drum solo instead of a song, which would do something different, you know.
Okay.
I've got some good ones on there. If you go to Nigel from Maidstone Drum Solo, you get the first one I did in the studio, which is quite good, actually.
Because you are quite a good drummer. Okay, Nigel from Maidstone.
Can I quickly say, I saw Dale Winton's last show he did earlier in Florida. It was fantastic.
Okay, well,
and he did look well, actually. He didn't look ill at all.
Okay, here we go. Well, let's listen to this. This is Nigel from Maidstone Drum Solo.
Thank you.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah, that's the one. Right, that's the one.
Hang on, here we go. It's coming. I've just missed. Here we go. Here we go. Nigel, that's not bad, man. You can really play those drums.
Well, I've been doing it for ever since I was 11.
You must be tired.
Pardon?
Nothing.
My lines, I couldn't hear that very clearly, but I've been drumming since I was 11.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one from your channel. Here we go. Is he? He's great stuff, Nigel. It's not so good. It's a bit ropey, but... There we go. Whoa! This is incredible, Nigel. It's not Nigel, is it? Yes, it's Nigel. Yeah, I told you. Woo! Yeah! Nigel, that is incredible, man! That was brilliant!
Thank you.
You're out of this world. Hey, listen, man, we got to go because we're to the break.
Could I come to the studio next week?
No.
If I'm still...
No.
Eh?
No. That was a one-off for that caller because he.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. But you need to be near Mum, so you focus on that.
Yeah,
and we're sending lots of healing energy to her.
But she'll be all right, but it's gonna take some time, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
She can't walk very well to the toilet, so I can't help her at the moment.
Okay. All right, Nigel. Well, no, you're not. But it's nice
It is. I am worried.
I know you're worried.
Yeah. It's a shame about Dale Winton, 'cause he looked well, didn't he, in that film?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you haven't seen any of it yet?
I've not seen it. I've taped it.
But he looked ever so well before he did die, actually. But,
all right. Hey, listen, Nigel.
Strange, isn't it?
It is. Nice one, mate. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for playing the drum set. God bless you.
Ta-ta, bye-bye. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Oh, God. Let's try this one. Yes, Jonathan?
Hello, mate. All right.
I'm very well, Jonathan. Thank you very much, mate. What have you got for us?
I'm here with Pete Prodge. We've just done a stand-up gig in Wellingborough.
Okay.
So we give you a call for a chat.
Well, maybe you could, when you start getting paid gigs, you could buy a decent telephone that we can hear you on! This is a terrible phone line!
It's these iPhones, mate. They ain't no good. They ain't no good.
Well, okay. Well, then make it snappy.
All right then, pal. We're on our way back to Dudley, the lovely land in the Black Country.
Dudley. I don't think have I ever been to Dudley, Catherine?
Yes.
Okay, I've been to Dudley.
No, we went to Wolverhampton, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, but they're different places.
Yeah, no, closer.
Where was that place we went to?
Why are you doing the Dudley voice? Where is the what place?
Where was that place we went to?
Where was that place?
Where was that place we went to that was a tiny little village?
That's Wolverhampton.
Where we went and had...
Where it was all, like, Tudorish.
Yeah, it was tiny.
Yeah.
Was that Wolverhampton?
Yeah.
What did we do in Wolverhampton?
We did a gig there, upstairs in that sweaty room.
No. Didn't we spend the night... Somewhere we spent the night.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Because we went and had... It was one of the gigs.
Yeah.
And we spent the night. It was either Airbnb or a hotel. It certainly wasn't. Although I'm thinking to save money, we get a camper van. Be with you in a second, Jonathan.
Not to worry, man, not to worry.
But I remember we had coffee in big mugs in like a dark sort of wooden place.
What?
Didn't we?
I don't know this, Ian.
I don't think it was me. I think it might have been you.
Was it you, Jonathan?
That was probably me.
I don't remember.
I think we stayed in a hotel and there was something funny about the parking. Anyway, Jonathan, I don't...
Well, this sounds like an excellent stay. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
No, we were in like a tiny little village and, it wasn't a village. It was a tiny... my head! Anyway, Jonathan, what would you like to say?
Was it Tipton? Was you in Tipton?
It was Tipton. Let's say it was Tipton. Yes.
Just end this.
It was Tipton.
Are you making any plans to come up to the Black Country at any point?
Yeah, I've got a plan to come up to the Black Country after this phone call and smash you in the face. How's about that? How's about that, boy?
Well, we'll have a Boston cup of tea after.
Thank you very much indeed. There we go. Let's go to Linda. Good evening, Linda.
Hello.
Okay. Let's go to Andre.
Ian, I've got the laptop open.
Okay.
And a song ready for you. 2 minutes, yeah?
Of course you have.
Ready? Here we go. Ready?
It's lappy time.
Right, the jam, yeah? Ready? 2 minutes.
Here we go.
Found myself in a strange town. No, I've only been here for 3 weeks now. I've got blisters on my feet. Trying to find a friend in Oxford Street. I bought an Aces Red guidebook. Trying to find a clubs and YMCA haze. When you ask in a strange town, they say don't care, and I gotta go, mate. Worry themselves about feeling low. They worry themselves about the dreadful snow.
Oh.
They all ignore me, 'cause they don't know. I'm really a space to bother you. Headphones. You got to move in a straight line. You got to walk and talk in football time. You can't be weird in a strange town. You'll be betrayed by your accent and manners. You got to wear the right clothes. Be careful not to pick or scratch your nose. You can't be dancing in a strange town. 'Cause we don't know, don't care, and I gotta go and rush my money to the record shops. I slop off on the back street by myself at Snoops. Well, manifestos, be kind to queers. Oh, so grateful revolution here. It's like so warm now.
Yes!
Oh, hey, I'm walking. Oh, the lampy's gone. It's flashed.
What's gone wrong?
See you later. Bye.
There we go. So reading this Matt Haig book, and you'll be hearing me talking about it quite a lot over the coming weeks because I'm loving it. And it's all about our reliance on the internet and Twitter and Facebook. So I asked, and I found myself today really upset by Twitter. I've tried. I came up with this idea when I was in New York after watching the Mr. Rogers film, Won't You Be My Neighbour? Of and regular listeners know I've struggled with Twitter a lot, and I really came up with the idea, and I thought I could pull it off, of turning Twitter into a loving echo chamber. So instead of an echo chamber of calling people out and arguing with people and and all kind of nonsense that's on Twitter, I thought I'm going to make it into a place of love and performance and art and beauty, and I will only share art and films that, if I see a really good film that moves me, I'll share that. Or if I, a song that moves me, I'll share that kind of stuff. And I was doing it for a couple of days. I got away with it. And then today I got into a really, really upsetting I don't want to say argument because, well, let's say argument for a short. Got into an upsetting conversation with someone, and I don't want to go into it because I don't want to draw attention to that person, because that person has been very, very seriously ill, and I certainly don't want it to look like I'm targeting that person. But a comment that I had made, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 months ago, 8, 9 months ago, a comment that I had made had on Twitter had unsurprisingly been misinterpreted and had been interpreted as a joke. And I don't remember making the comment. If I did, I think it was meant as a genuine question as opposed to a joke. It could have been a joke. I'd have to see the tweet. I'd have to see the whole context. Basically, someone with cancer, who and I think I was led to believe it was terminal, and something like, best of luck, how long have you got, something like that. Okay, it's not the coolest question necessarily to ask, but I obviously felt in the conversation, and I'm prepared to be proven wrong on this because I don't really remember it, but I'm pretty sure. It's not a question I would just ask outright. I don't think I would do it as a joke. It was part of a conversation where I was trying to connect my soul with another human soul, and and share the frailty of existence. And this is a while ago. And then today, that person who is, thank God, is all clear of cancer, which is great, sent me a tweet to tell me they're all clear, but also my comment had obviously upset them. And I detected a tone in the first tweet, but I congratulated them on being clear. And then it turned out actually they were upset by it, and they were threatening to take it to the press and all this kind of stuff, right? And I was mortified that something I could have said would have, and he was calling it a gag, and so I was going along with it, saying, okay, it was a bad gag, but then thinking about it, I don't think it was a gag. But I was so upset that something I had said had caused so much upset to someone else who was ill, someone else who was cancer. I don't want to upset people with cancer. I don't upset anyone, really, but I don't want to upset people with cancer. And he then misquoted another tweet that I'd just sent. And I thought, because I said, I'm really sorry I offended you. And he then sent a tweet back in quote marks saying, using the old sorry if I offended you. And I deliberately did not include the word if, because I obviously had offended him. So I didn't write sorry if I offended you, because that is a cop-out apology. I wrote sorry I offended you. And I wasn't going to get into an argument with him. The bloke's just been given the all clear of cancer. He's taken a battering. I'm not going to get involved. I genuinely don't wish him ill. So I just kind of said, look, I'm done here, man. I'm really sorry. I wish you the best of luck. And I was so upset, Kath. So, and I was upset because I was messaging you, and I had a little bit of a whitey on Twitter, and I was messaging you going, I can't believe it. I'm in pieces that someone could, that I could express myself so badly in a public forum that someone could be that upset by something that I have tweeted. Mm-hmm. I was so upset by it. So we're doing that, and it was going on, and I was just thinking, and I was with my youngest son. It was a hot day, and I had quite a nice day, because I've been playing cricket at my kid's school with my eldest. I didn't talk about sports, Dad. Maybe I'll talk about that later. Mm-hmm. And so I had my youngest son for about 25 minutes before we had to go and pick up his brother. Okay. So we stopped off at the train station to get a Twix and a bottle of water, and he wanted some crisps, and then we were going to the park. And my youngest was on a wall, climbing on a wall, and he's going, Daddy, Daddy. And I went, in a minute, I was looking at my phone, engaging in this conversation. I went, in a minute, son, I'm busy. Said it like that. In a minute, son, I'm busy. I wasn't busy. I was trying to change the view of someone whose view I was not going to change. Was not going to change their view. They've made their decision, and that's fine. And they're going on their journey in life, and that's fine. And genuinely, I'm being vague because some people started sending him a couple of mean tweets, and that's not my intention. But then it looks like I've called my drones to attack. I haven't. It's in a public forum. This is what happens. So it was. I was so upset by this, but my son was going, Daddy, Daddy, look at this. I didn't even look at him. Looked at the phone. In a minute, son, I'm busy. And that went on for quite a while. That kind of thing. And and it's been a stressful day, and it's stressful with this whole house and this divorce and all of this stuff. It's stressful, man. It's stressful. And I think I'm on the verge of kind of going down the other side a bit for a while. I just feel myself, all of the alarm bells that I've learnt to recognise when I'm about to go into a depressive trough, a lot of them are ringing. And I was driving into work thinking, I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to live my life getting really upset by people on Twitter or by people's reactions to me on Twitter. I don't want to get upset by that. And I certainly don't want to be ignoring the beauty of my stunning 6.5-year-old boy, face covered with ice cream, climbing a wall. And I couldn't even look at him because I was looking at... I don't want to live my life like this. And Matt Haig in his book talks about maybe not taking your phone to bed and not checking it. You know, there's a story in one of the papers. Where is it? It's in the Star, I think. It's in the Star. Hang on a minute. I think it's this one. Brits are phone addicts. We check our phones 16 hours a day. Is that all? Is that all? I think it's more than that, man. Certainly more than that for me today. And I thought, I don't want it. I don't want that. And I'm addicted, right? I'm a drug addict. I guess I'm kind of I am an alcoholic. And if I, in terms of drugs, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And what that means is if I have one, that is not going to satisfy me. And if I have 1,000, that ain't enough. I need more. So I can't take drugs. Whereas some people can have a line of Coke or they can have a cheeky heme on a bifter. I can't, because that isn't enough. It's like I've had a line of Coke. Why would I want one line of Coke? Why would I want one glass of wine? Who wants one glass of wine? I don't understand that. And I don't take drugs and I don't drink now. And I haven't for a while. But Twitter, Facebook, let's talk about Twitter, because Facebook's slightly different for me. But Twitter is the same. It's the same thing. One tweet is too many and 1,000 tweets is never enough. So I came in to work today and I said, and we Googled something, and I gave my phone to Katherine. I said, Katherine, I want you to type in a 4-digit security code on my phone because I'm going to try and do something. God, I feel nervous talking about it. Isn't that funny? I feel really nervous. So what I've done, it's a tiny, tiny thing, right? And it's a tiny thing that may not last. And I may be phoning up Katherine tomorrow morning going, give me that code! Give me the code! What is that film, The Young Frankenstein, where he goes in with the monster and he says, whatever you
happens,
hear,
don't open the door.
Don't open the door. And 30 seconds later, I was joking! Open the door! Open the door! But you said, no, I was joking! You might get that phone call.
Can we establish now what my response should be if you do phone me up tomorrow?
Oh, if I cave in, give it to me.
No.
No, okay, no, don't. Okay, well, let's do it the weekend and we'll talk on Monday.
Okay.
We'll talk on Monday. So what I have done is I have deleted the Twitter and Facebook apps from my phone. I have blocked it using this 4-digit code that I don't know. So I cannot download new apps on my phone. So I can't get them back on. And I have blocked the websites, twitter.com and facebook.com. I've blocked them, so I can't access them, right? I'm sure there's probably a workaround. I can't access them on my phone. At the moment, I can access them on my laptop, because that's a different thing. I'm not going to be out with the kids in the park with a lappy with me. The laptop is a more involved thing.
Also, there's a process involved in getting the laptop out, firing it up, waiting for it, and there's a bit more time.
Although, it's the thing with addiction. I'm going to stop taking Coke. Then you become an alcoholic and you start drinking loads of wine. Your addiction moves to something else. So I might find that I'm walking around with a laptop with me, in which case then we need to have another chat. But so for this weekend, I, on my phone, cannot access Twitter and I cannot access Facebook. Facebook's a slightly different beast for me because I don't really use it in the way that a lot of people do of posting pictures of my kids and stuff like that. I use it. I'm friends with about a dozen people. You're one. Kirsten, who we had on the show, is one. A couple of Monkeys people. And it's kind of as small as, And I use it to promote the show and on the Iain Lee Facebook page. That's kind of what it is. But Twitter, and as Kath did it, as Kath put the digits in and blocked it, I felt sick. I was tingling. My hands and my chest got tight and my hands were tingling. It was a physical reaction to making it slightly harder for me to get onto a website. That's nuts, isn't it? That is nuts. And we might come back Monday and I might go, do you know what? It's not worked and I'd like it unblocked. And in that case, that's kind of fine. You know, this is a weekend experiment. I think I'm seeing the kids this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see. Because I've tried having the phone in the car, and that works to us, leaving the phone in the car when I see them, but that works to a certain extent.
But if it's in your pocket, then
And if there's an ongoing drama, like I'm arguing with someone or I'm defending someone, then I'm going to take it with me, okay? And I don't want to miss any more of my kids growing up. I don't want to miss any more of my kids. There'll come a point when my youngest doesn't want to climb walls. I want to enjoy every wall climb that I possibly can. So I'm going to see how it goes. I'm sharing that. I feel sick talking about it. Actual physical reaction at me grassing myself up for blocking Twitter and Facebook on my phone. Isn't that funny? Genuinely think there will be, in 5 years' time, there will be 12-step groups like you have Narcotics Anonymous and Overeaters Anonymous and Gamblers Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. There will be, I don't know what it will be, Smartphones Anonymous or Social Media Anonymous. There'll be something.
I think it's only for the good, and that feeling of that worry is probably a sign that you're right to do it.
Isn't it? Yeah,
I think
definitely.
Also, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you talking about you can feel like you're about to take a bit of a dive. There are plenty of idiots on Twitter who smell blood when you're in that kind of mood, and you share, and I think the fact that you share is wonderful, but it does leave you vulnerable to people sticking the boot in. And I know that when you start feeling bad, then that's all the stuff that's the only stuff you believe.
It's the equivalent of having my honeypot out
wide open.
Wide. I smashed the rim of my honeypot.
And people say lovely things and you don't believe them. People say horrible things and that's the stuff that sticks.
Sorry, I was laughing at smashing the rim of my honeypot. Would you like to lick my rim?
Oh my God.
That sigh sums up our relationship perfectly. That sigh, that weary sigh, totally sums up Catherine's relationship for the last 4 or 5 years. Oh, God, I'm bullying my best friend and I'm laughing at it. What a terrible human being I am.
Seriously, though, how is your rim? Because it was in tatters last time we discussed it.
It's all right.
Good, well, that's one bonus. Let's be happy for that.
I don't want any bonus near my rim. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Right. We're going to do yes word or S word, okay? There's a new Paul McCartney single out. Normally we do it with, listeners' homebrew stuff, but there's a new Paul McCartney record. And by the way, we got Ryan from the Take It Away podcast, one of my favourite podcasts. He's coming in September. He's going to come in the studio in September, the same week that the new Paul McCartney album comes out, and he's going to go through it with us. We're going to deconstruct.
Yes!
But no Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney's refused to come on the show. So the way this works, call straight to air, 0344 499 1000. You phone up and you say yes word or S word. The S word stands for SH1T. Please, 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 please don't actually say the S word, okay? And I tell you why, this is why we're doing it with Paul McCartney, okay? Because he's an established artist. And I think that maybe a lot of you were getting into the homebrew thing, the kind of DIY vibe, and so you thought it was appropriate to phone up because something. People phone up and say, oh, this is, so don't do that. So this is Sir Paul McCartney. He's a Knight of the Realm, okay? He's a British institution, so I know that you will respect that, and you will phone up and you will just say yes or the S word. So you're not saying the S word, you're saying the phrase the S word. He's Paul McCartney, so bit of respect. With that in mind, this is there's two songs from two songs. I think they're both great, but this is the more up tempo one. It's called "Come On to Me," and I'm going to play it.
Did he ask anyone about that title?
Well, of course. Maybe it's a nod back to John Lennon's "Come Together." Thank you very much indeed. So give us a call, 0344 499 1000. Let me know what you think of this. This is Come On To Me by Paul McCartney. Kath, I think Sam's calling you up there. I think there's a problem with the phone lines. Okay. 0344 499 1000. Yes word or S word?
that seemed to me to say you wanted so much more than casual conversation. I swear I got a look before you turn away. Now I don't see the point resisting your temptation.
Let's go to line one. Line one. Yes word or S word?
Hello.
Hello. Yes word or S word? Line one. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Line two. Yes word or S word?
Shit.
Right. Watch your language, buddy. Watch. Pause it. Pause it. Pause it. Right. This ain't some kid, right? This is Sir Paul McCartney, Knight of the Realm. Watch your language. Watch your language.
Like I'm supposed to do. How soon can we arrange a formal introduction?
Line four. Yes word or S word?
Wow! Beatles! Bag of shite!
Oh, get right. Jesus. 0344 499 1000. Line five. Yes word or S word?
Yes word.
Thank you very much indeed. Well done. Line five. Yes word or S word?
Dirty grey nonce.
Nonce? Grey-haired nonce? What is this? Line one. Yes word or S word?
Yes, 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 yes.
You saying yes?
Yes, yes.
You like it?
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed. Line five. Yes word or S word?
On 18, it's Macca calling.
Hey, it's Paul McCartney! Hey, go on, do you like it? It's Paul McCartney, I'm out now, I can't believe it! Line six. Yes word or S word?
Bomb, bomb, bomb.
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much indeed. Line seven. Yes word or S word?
Yes, yes, yes word.
Thank you very much indeed. Line nine. Yes word or S word?
Oui, oui, oui.
Merci beaucoup.
So much more than casual conversation.
Line eight. Yes word or S word?
Yes word.
Thank you very much indeed. Line 10. Yes word or S word? Okie dokie, thank you.
Well, I'll come on to you if you come on to me.
Line 6. Yes word or S word?
Massive pile of S words.
Okie dokie. Line 10. Yes word or S word?
I think it's cool. Yes, yes, yes. Love me a bit of Macca.
Hey, do you live in Liverpool?
Of course I do. That's what I did before.
Did you see Paul McCartney with James Corden the other day?
No, I missed it. I was at work.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. But you like this song?
Oh, I love it. I'll come on to him, all right.
Oh, get right. Come on, you dirty.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Now.
Line 6. Yes word or S word?
For sure.
Whoa, okay. Line 9. Yes word or S word?
Your nan's dead.
Sorry? My nan's dead, yes, and? Yep, okay. Thanks for telling me that. Thanks for reminding me. Both of them are, actually. Line 2, yes word or S word?
Hi, mate, it's John Lennon calling from heaven. It's a no from me.
Well, there we go. We had a young lady inviting Paul to a bukkake party. We had Paul McCartney phone up and John Lennon phoned up as well.
Wow,
yeah.
I missed it.
And someone phoned up to remind me that my nan is dead.
Oh.
That was a bit sad. Both of them are. Both of my nans are dead. But thanks for reminding me, guys. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. We're not taking any more phone calls tonight. I think we're done with the phone calls. Let's just relax the phone calls a little bit, okay? So, put your feet up, Sam. No more phone calls. Let us have... is it Friday? Martin Kellner, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
Kellner.
prepping.
What,
He does prep.
So he's such a bumlick.
Yes, doing his own work.
He's such a bumlick, that guy. Prep. Boffins make a Potter cloak.
Oh, they used to call me a boffin at school. Terrible.
There's Helena Christensen in a metal bikini. It looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to swim in that, is she?
No, that would sink. And also, if there's a big magnet...
Magnet fishing, though. Boom!
Scientists are a step closer to a Harry Potter-style invisibility cloak. They have developed a device that makes solid objects completely vanish. Do you remember, have you seen the footage of the Japanese did this about 10 years ago? It's a jacket. It's like a white jacket. It's incredible. But it's made up, this was 10 years ago, so the technology would be even better. So the back of it is made up of like thousands of tiny little cameras, right? And so what it does is it shoots what's behind you and then projects it onto the front. So it looks like it's transparent. The picture wasn't great. This is about 10 years ago. The picture wasn't great, but it looked amazing. It looked amazing. The gadget, this is a different thing. The gadget, called a spectral cloak, even worked in bright daylight in tests. This is the greatest thing ever. Canada-based research leader Jose Azenia said, "Our work represents a breakthrough in the quest for invisibility cloaking, eh?"
Is that a Spanish Canadian?
Yeah.
Well done.
That is not bad. I hope that's all he says, though, because that's quite tricky. The human eye sees light that bounces off... The human eye sees light that bounces off objects. Objects reflect different light depending on their colour. For example, green. In case you didn't know what a colour might be.
A colour like green.
But in a new approach, optic scientists looked at altering light waves going through an object. The cloak... I've got to say, I've got a tiny little boner going here. The cloak turns...
Don't talk yourself down.
Well...
Actually, if you could talk yourself down, that would be... It's a bit embarrassing, I can see.
I need the invisibility cloak. Hey, lads. The cloak...
Invisibility handkerchief.
The cloak turns this light another colour, such as blue, as it goes through the green object. The colour then reverts to green on the other side, so the view is not distorted to our eyes. Anyone following this?
No.
No. This overcomes the problem faced by current cloaking devices.
I've been worried about that.
Which bounce light around objects, causing a visible shimmer. Other models work properly only when an object is illuminated with just one colour of light, but white light is made up of several colours. The technology could one day be used to make objects invisible from every direction.
Here's a plan.
Yeah.
Don't put the object there. Save yourself a few quid.
Oh, hang on a minute. Researcher Louis, I think the sun may have jumped the gun a little bit, the invisible gun a little bit. Researcher Luis Romero Cortez added, "Conventional cloaking solutions rely on altering the path of light around the object to be concealed, eh? Our proposal avoids this by allowing the wave to travel through the target rather than around it, eh?" So it's a proposal. So basically, these scientists smoked a few J's, had a couple of beers.
Drew a picture.
Well, they've not drawn a picture. They've got a white sheet of paper and gone, yeah, man, imagine. Yeah, but imagine if this was the cloak. What? The paper? No, what's drawn on the paper? I can't see it.
Exactly.
Roll another one. That's all they've done. A proposal. Dear God. I could be one of these bullshit scientists.
Why don't they just concentrate instead of doing that? Make the thing that you want to hide see-through. You know, like Wonder Woman's invisible plane.
Yeah, make it out of glass.
Yeah.
I forgot. This is what I was doing. The front page of The Sun is disgusting today, and I wanted to talk about this. Actually, it's about sport, football.
All right.
Right, because England lost to Belgium 1-0, but I believe that means they get a slightly easier path. They face Colombia as opposed to Brazil.
Right.
Okay. So, the front page of The Sun is England 0, Belgium 1. Well played, lads! ! Defeat gives 3 Lions easier route to final. So, That's Sun
the suggestion they've thrown it.
Well, the Sun is celebrating our national team potentially not playing to their best ability. Now, that feels a little bit... I mean, it's not the worst thing the Sun have put on their front pages, let's be honest. But that feels a little bit bent, doesn't it?
But That's what football teams do.
No, but I want my kids, every time they do a sport, every time they take part in an activity, a competition, I want them to do the best they can. Now, if by doing the best they can they lose, I want them to have fun is the main thing. I'm not one of these pushy parents, not like one of the ones, the dads at the cricket today. But as long as they're enjoying it and digging it, I want them to do the best that they can do, you know. And the best that they can do might not be great for a lot of things, but I'd like them to really give it a go. But if they see the biggest selling newspaper patting the national team, and my boys were digging the football. It's lovely, actually, because they're really into the World Cup, and they're telling me all this stuff that I don't really understand. And remind me on Monday to talk about other parents having, and other people having influences on my kids, because it's quite a big thing that I went through today. But I think it's kind of outrageous that the biggest newspaper is celebrating the national team perhaps not playing to the best of their abilities, because it hopefully, I'm going to say it, I hope we get beaten by Colombia. I'll teach them. I hope we get our backside spanked by Colombia. If they've done it that way, they've taken a dive so that they get an easier route. Come on, man.
That would be karma, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. Well, I don't know if it would be karma. I think it would get quite tense actually there. But it's a little joke for you.
Well,
about that big
joke.
But yeah, I thought that was an outrageous front page. It's an outrageous front page.
It's cynical, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then, if that's what they did.
Anyway, now on Monday I would talk about other adults having an influence on my kids and it making me really sad, but actually realising that that's kind of what life is. I was having that today when I went and played an over each, batted an over, and I had to bowl an over. I couldn't bowl, did it underarm in the end, but it was like a proper sports dad and sports son there, and they were warming up before I was in jeans and a t-shirt. He came in sports kit, and he's warming up. They're having practice bowls. I'm thinking, flipping it, man. They're 8. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent and we're coming to the end of the show. Please go and download the podcasts of the show. If you go to Acast or Talk Radio, type in Iain Lee, Katherine Boyle. You haven't got time now. You're late.
Oh, sorry about
that. You haven't got time. We've got to go to live news, and you're late. I'm going to give you 10 seconds, Martin Kerner, because I like you.
Thank you.
I like you. You've got literally 10 seconds.
And you've got a lovely head, and you wouldn't have thought it'd been attacked by.
You've got 8 seconds now.
8 seconds. We've got a fantastic show tonight with all the usual stuff and more.
He sold it. We're out of time. Dear listener, Martin Kellner will be on after 1 o'clock. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Sam. Back on Monday at 10. Ta-ta.